works your men's head, and that's all I could think about for Malignant. Your weird brain thing, but you're back.
God damn it!
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, this prestige. By the way, this prestige is totally worth it once you get the fucking tech requirements up.
Yes, and so we are now live. Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
We in there.
Holy shit. We actually got a warning this time.
Yeah.
It wasn't at the end of one of my weird rants, and then we goes, "Oh, we're live, by the way." It's like, "Oh,
we're live, by the way."
I don't know what I was going to say.
You could have said the many racial slurs he often does say.
he could just be entirely racist and just strangling Max. Like, this is why I do these things.
Does anybody else want to take the intro, or should I?
Yeah, no, I got it.
I got it, man.
Take it.
So welcome to Yarp's first Spooktober, and today we thought we would cover both a recent horror movie and what we thought would be a better example. So, Malignant is a thing. I was just like, right as I was trying to start off, I thought of the Bread Letter Media thing on how they're just trying to start conversations and they just can't.
They can't.
It's a very hard movie to describe without like doing the deep dive. So
into it,
yeah.
Do we just start with the premise? Do we start with opinions? Like, where do we go? There's no way we can talk about this without spoiling it.
Spoilers all the way.
So spoilers for the movie Malignant. Well, like we should do it like Red Mint literally said. Yes, if you haven't seen it, it's free on HBO. Fucking get HBO. It's fucking dirt cheap. Fucking get it so you can watch the fucking movie. It's totally worth your time.
With friends and maybe some
with friends.
It's not
and either alcohol
movie, but it's very entertaining.
With either alcohol or a bit of drugs.
And Slur recommends bringing like a whole dinner in as well.
Just like a whole Sunday roast. You're just like, oh, I got my beef here.
Rent a cinema, bring a Sunday roast, have it on your lap. That's the only way to eat this. Also, like, take a few phone calls during.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, leave me alone.
So, oh no, yeah, I'm in the cinema. I'm watching Malignant. Yeah, it's a horror movie.
I think it's a horror movie.
Bitch just fell through the fucking attic and fell like 2,500 feet.
This frickin' thing just like read as it ran across the thing, and I think it was supposed to be scary, but all I did was laugh.
I don't think anyone in the theater minds. The theater's just empty.
The theater's empty because it's Is that a commentary on Malignant? Is that a commentary on the Couve?
On the Couve?
Maybe they're a commentary on each other. Malignant is a commentary on society today. I don't know what the fuck it's saying.
We live in a malignant society, Batman. All right.
We live in a malignant reach around, Batman.
So yeah, go watch it if you can.
So should we do like more of an active breakdown, or just give like a summary of the premise? Because we also have a video today.
Well, let's do the summary then. So basically, this is how do I do this? It's allegedly a horror movie, but there's a strong case to be made that this might be a parody. It starts off.
Before we go into like our theorized genre designations, officially I would call this more of a thriller. It's got a lot of horror elements, but it's not too hung up on staying ooky and spooky. It's also got like a whole detective solving the mystery angle. So I think thriller is probably the most accurate.
There you go.
As far as intent goes. Parody and comedy are things that we attach to it.
That's fair.
Well, it's because how could you not?
Because for good reason, though. I mean,
was the underground fight before the lady falling through the ceiling?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Because that's before we get the reveal as to what the thing really is and who the mother is.
Oh, okay. I just keep going back to the fucking lady going through the ceiling. It's just such a jarring fucking moment. That's where, like, I should have probably had this moment earlier. But when that happened in the movie, I was like, this is a fucking parody. You can't convince me fucking otherwise. And Slur compared it to that moment in Shazam where There's like the dad's yelling at the villain in kid form, and then in almost a comedic level of timing, that truck just hits the car.
Yeah, it wasn't to draw a comparison directly between the scenes, because obviously there's a lot different. It's more
Yes.
just this phenomenon of there's a certain use of like a suddenness and a loudness in an event happening on screen that the line between comedy and horror for that particular thing is very thin. So on one hand, you can get a jump scare out of basically anything if you play a music cue loud enough. What's the? I think it's a Conjuring movie. No, it's not a Conjuring movie. It's a begins with a P, which means a different.
Paranormal Activity.
No. But yeah, those ones also qualify for this, where basically your run-of-the-mill, mainstream, cheap as shit horror movie, they will use this thing where they'll have a fake-out jump scare, but they'll play the music cue like it's a real jump scare. So you're following like this closing slowly on this corner of the room, and then, I don't know, a rat or something scurries across. You get the big ding on the violin, and you get a jump scare out of that. Alternatively, you can have something happen immediately and suddenly in a way that's extremely funny. Like in Shazam, he's flying along the road, he's talking to someone, and then wham! Oncoming truck just hits him and he's gone off screen in a split second. And that's comedy. But the problem in Shazam was they used the exact same thing of like the truck whamming as both horror and comedy, and it just ended up being funny in both circumstances, whereas it could have just as easily been horrifying in both circumstances. It's something you have to be very careful with. And there's a scene in this movie where they weren't careful at all, because not just like a horrific reveal that, you know, something terrible has just happened to someone right in front of us, but also the implications that this event has for the characters and their understanding of what's happening. Basically, the fact that the room this woman was being kept in this whole time was my own attic. Oh my god! But this happens in a way where she finally escapes from her bonds in this like dusty attic place, and she escapes, and then she falls face first into the floor, smashes through it, and then down in front of people who were mid conversation.
Yeah, in front of
That
screaming.
entire description is something you only ever see done comedically, where you have the dramatic thing of someone falling through the floor, only to like land in an otherwise mundane circumstance, like people are just sitting around drinking coffee and you've just barged in on them through the ceiling. So yeah, it's just unintentional comedy at the wazoo. And then you get other things that aren't as loud or aren't as in your face. Like when your woman goes to like the hospital, and the hospital is like fucking Dr. Evil's lair on the top of the mountain. It looks like something out of like animated Batman. It's so over the top. And she parks at the very edge of the cliff for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I really want a shot of that eventually to be shown on stream. But yeah, no, that is fucking ridiculous sauce.
Oh yeah, how like even Red Letter Media says like eventually she's just gonna fall off of it.
Well, no, that's
Like,
what the
it was-
setup is. It's clearly
Yeah.
set up that she's gonna fall off, and it's like, oh nope, didn't happen.
Yeah,
But
it's
you know what
just-
the actual reason is? They couldn't show us the front of the building, but they wanted to show us that she had parked in front of it.
Was it the front? Was it the back? I'm
No,
not sure.
we were looking
the
at
side.
we were looking from off the edge of the cliff,
Mhm.
and we saw the front of the car come to the edge of the cliff, and then everything we're seeing of the building is its side, with the implication that she got out of her car, then went back to where the front is, like on the side of the building that she's on. So we never actually saw the front entrance of the hospital.
I guess.
And I'm guessing it's because they use a real, like, a building for that, and, you know,
Mhm.
real hospitals didn't want to be associated with shoving the twin inside someone's skull procedure.
Just a little bit, yeah.
What?
A little bit
I don't
bad for
believe
PR.
you. I don't believe you in the slightest. I want that as the advertising to my hospital, where
We're the hospital that shoved the fucking thing back. So yeah, I guess we should get into like the premise of the fucking movie. So it's set up as like this paranormal, like investigative movie, a little bit mystery drama kind of deal. and the premise is this woman. What was her name? Madison. Madison is she gets attacked by this paranormal force, and it kills her husband. And so that's like our premise that gets set up for like whatever else is about to happen in the movie. However, it then devolves into utter
This video brought to you by
Privacy
nonsense.
Don't know why the video.
Where instead of like, even though this has like clear paranormal like powers and like weirdness to it,
it has the power of editing on its side. It doesn't. It has one paranormal power that we know of, and that's the ability to control electricity. Everything about how like it teleports by like disappearing into shadows and everything. That's just the editor being on their side.
I guess, but like, man, the teleportation from the closet to the other side of the hotel room like really fucking bugs me.
Yeah,
it's
not good, but that's also not actually one of their powers.
I guess. But yeah, the movie then goes into this weird bit of it's not actually paranormal. Well, I'm having issues here. Like I said,
it has like a medical explanation in the movie, but the medical explanation in the movie
is
A,
bonkers.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, and B, doesn't account for the things that this thing can do.
Yes, very much so. Well, no, it does, because they shocked it with electricity, and I guess that's how it got electric powers. That's what that whole opening scene is. Like, I'm shocking electric, but it's not working.
And it absorbs
somehow
the fetuses, and that's how it gets super strong. It has the strength of 10 men, because it absorbs
I think we might
pregnant.
just need to. I think we might need to let Filmento's video try to explain.
So anyway,
the film.
Malignant is a little fucking batshit insane, and it's kind of hilarious in that regard. So definitely check it out. But we will be checking out a video. What is the title of this video?
Malignant: How to Write One of the Worst Modern Horror Films / Anatomy of a Failure. My God, that is a mouthful of a title.
Honestly,
and I don't know if I'd even qualify this as like one of the worst modern horror films, because much like horror movies in like the 80s and 90s, it's schlock. You know, it's good in that it's entertaining. It has value. Whereas like a bad horror movie, I would consider something like, I don't know, the Paranormal Activity sequels, where at this point it's just boring, uninspired trash.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So who's ready to watch a video?
Oh, and like, we actually might wind up agreeing with Femento here.
Oh yeah, it's a shit movie.
Like,
oh yeah, it's not.
That's
It's
the
not
weird
a good
thing about this movie. It's like he might be kind of right. So we'll have to see.
The thing is, he might be
in agreement with Filmento. He says things that are correct occasionally.
Occasionally,
I don't know. The idea that something. I don't know, the idea that something isn't scary if there's more than one of them.
Yeah, but that's something he said wrong. We're specifically saying that something he might have said that is correct.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't always come away with like bizarre takes on movies. It's just a lot of the time we found that his reasoning can be very strange.
Very.
All right. Let me throw.
Like I said, we could wind up agreeing with him, because depending on what he says.
.com, which allows you to use virtual credit cards as a buffer to your real one to control and secure your online payments.
Okay, maybe when the killer attacked Madison, they formed like some kind of like a psychic bond. Are we really having this conversation?
Strong start there, buddy. Strong start.
But yeah, you can do that edit for like literally anything in the premise of this movie, where you're just staring blankly as like, are we really about to have this conversation?
Right now? It's like, is this really happening? Have I been drinking?
Fake Wanda Sykes just disappointing.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention that not Wanda Sykes is in this movie.
Like, oh yeah, she wants to be Wanda Sykes.
Of all women on this earth is the most conspicuously like not Wanda Sykes.
I'm not saying she's Wanda Sykes. However, we haven't seen this woman and Wanda Sykes in the same room. So, I'm just asking questions.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to read what Jake put in chat. He's like, he wants me to read a swoopy story while slur river dances to Max and Ninja playing True Survivor dressed as characters from Kung Fury.
Is it just me, or is his fetishes getting more specific?
I mean, what is
No
a
slur,
fetish
put
but
on
not
this
being-
dress.
What is a fetish but not being something specific? So
I mean, that's extra specific.
I mean,
That's more than your usual level of specificity.
I mean, you're not wrong.
We've gone from needing to read something from The Art of War to now you need to learn to river dance, slur.
I need you to look.
Now
I mean,
put
we
on
all
this
did
dress.
learn Irish dancing in school. I just haven't done it since I was like 8 years old.
Wait, that's real? You
What?
actually have to learn it? What?
But yeah,
Fuck the movie. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, you really have to learn that? Are
There's
you
just a
serious?
hand that just shoves the stream
but
aside. Like,
obviously
hold
we
on.
don't do it to the same scale as fucking Michael Flatley because we're a bunch of 8-year-olds,
you
but we
can't-
do learn
you
Irish
don't know
dancing. Well, I do know that because I was fucking there. I did it. What the fuck do you mean?
Adam,
Man, that's good information. Thank you.
oh,
Sorry,
somebody's
you always manage to fucking like educate me in like at least one time every fucking like video.
Jake just
And,
went.
man,
Jake just went. Look, don't question what I won.
listen. Like I said, I mean, like it's like feet, man. I don't get it, but like it is your thing. So all right.
Somebody
I don't
asked.
get it, and therefore it's disgusting and abominable and should be rid of this earth.
Somebody.
That is one way to look at it.
Somebody asked if we've seen Fan 4 Stick. I have not, but I've heard it.
Yeah, I didn't bother.
I
Honestly,
saw it a while ago and I kind of like deleted it from my brain.
Is it really as bad as like all the stuff I'd heard about it?
Well, Doctor Doom is one of my favorite video game characters. Jesus Christ, Doctor Doom is one of my favorite comic book characters. I love like everything about him.
same. The Fantastic Four movie
The
broke my heart.
Fantastic Four Stick movie was god awful in the portrayal of Doom, and apparently, and I've been told this, and I want to fucking punch everybody who says this. Apparently, it's very accurate to the comic version of Doom that they're doing now, and it's like, no, shut the fuck up.
Fuck that.
Go kill yourself. When one is the better version, do the better version. Don't do the cringy thing. This is what happened to Lobo in his reboot. It's like, oh yeah, like they made Lobo this like weird Twilighty, like edgy fucking character, and then they realized, oh fuck, this was a horrible idea.
Well, it's like when they made the Punisher movie with Thomas Jane. They took essentially like Punisher's best work from at the time, which was the I'm trying to remember the writer. It was one of the, not Neil Gaiman. It was one of those really famous comic book writers whose name just suddenly escapes me.
All right,
But they took the best material and then they just jammed it into like to make like the story that they did, and that story was fucking awesome.
So but get to like address the chatter. I guess we can watch it. I just like this might be like that would be like a rage thing for me. So I guess if you want that, I mean, we can do that. The movie makes me very upset, and I hate it.
I don't want to watch it.
The only thing I like about it is what's her fucking face? What's the chick from who plays Susan Storm?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
She was in fuck. Why am I blanking?
All we know is Michael B. Jordan.
She was in
tries to
House
play-
of Cards. She was the reporter chick. She was in Shooter. She was like the second chick. Oh fuck, I'm gonna look it up. Main thing is I like that actress. She's cute.
Michael B. Jordan is in it, and his hand
Michael
isn't
B.
getting
Jordan is
broken. His hand is not being broken by a motion sensing robot.
Yeah, but the thing is, he has he has like one of the cringiest lines of all fucking time. What if we say no? Say yes.
Oh my god.
Wait, what is that exchange?
They're talking to like these like the military people, and like they're basically like, I'm guessing it's like a fucking what's the word, like a pitch meeting for fucking the Fantastic Four, and like the military guys just go, what if we say no? And then there's like a pause, and when I say a pregnant pause, I mean like, dude, it's like a solid minute, and then Michael B. Jordan just goes, say yes, and that's like the end of the movie too.
Compelling argument. How
Yeah.
could we say no to that? He
Yeah.
literally just said say yes.
He said say yes. We have to now. I mean, that's the way it is.
Well, when you put it that way.
And then you put it.
All right, Malignant, Anatomy of a Failure.
2021's Malignant is a new $40 million horror movie about Madison, who begins seeing real-life Twitch streams of this dark monster doing some naughty things.
What?
That's right.
This is
Yeah. Wait, what's the confusion so far?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Twitch stream. All right.
Are you upset that he said
Like,
Twitch
yeah.
stream? And is that like your fucking internal triggering?
And one of the biggest things to take from it is the visual expertise of director James Wan. The way he's able to shoot even the most mundane locations in an interesting outside-the-box way is astounding, and the movie is definitely worth a watch to see what you can do with the camera.
Yeah,
But-
I definitely agree
I
with
don't know,
him
there's
there.
a couple of things in there that are pretty neat. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Yeah,
definitely
I don't
agree
know if
with
I'd say
him.
that would apply to the whole movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like I
so-
said, I definitely agree with him, and like, yeah, some of the shots are actually pretty well done. Like, I praise that opening shot with her sitting on the couch and like her just disappearing. That's a pretty cool shot.
I do
Like,
think
the
it's a
whole-
little disingenuous to say he makes mundane locations really pop, though, because that house is like a set built special. It looks
Yes.
significant in and of itself, and then you have other sets that were like set up purely to be cool looking sets, like the underground thing.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah,
I was,
you missed
was-
you missed the beginning of that Red Letter Media thing. So, but yeah, they did bring that up. Apparently, James Wan has used that set multiple times through all of his whole movies, and they show like different movies with that exact same like house.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think there's some neat camera stuff in there, but like, I don't think I'd go so far as to say he makes like mundane settings really pop, and it's astounding. I think that's going a bit far, but
I guess that I did say one of my favorite shots of the film was when she's running away, and you can just like it's panning as if the camera's like in the ceiling, and you can see the ceiling, the floors of other rooms, and then not. I really enjoyed that shot.
Yeah. That's all cool. Like I said, it's good cinematography. Like, that's one thing about the movie. It's like, yeah, I guess like the
Oh
shots
no, you fell into the trap.
of what giving the movie a fuck
Yeah, it's like the one scene that everybody won't shut the fuck up about.
what.
The dollhouse shot where
Oh,
she's
no,
like
I
running
didn't
through the rooms.
Oh, I didn't bring that up, but like,
No, Wyatt did. That's what
I
I'm
did.
saying. Like it's
Well,
weird.
it's because I just enjoyed it from a neat cinematography aspect.
yeah, it was.
But what
unique
does it
looking.
add to the film? Nothing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
it does
not-
it establishes the house, I guess, if you want to like.
Not even really.
think
Because
about it.
we were just talking about that scene where she falls through the fucking.
yeah,
I
we
was like,
don't
that
know
hallway goes
enough
nowhere.
about the actual layout of the house to definitively say what she would or wouldn't have had to crash through.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I'm
Which means
not
that
saying
the
it.
dollhouse thing didn't really set up the geography of the scene. It was just very cool, and that's
Yeah, it was just there
Okay,
to be cool,
good
which isn't a bad
angles
thing.
and shit like that. They add something to the movie. They add just visual flair. What they don't add anything to is the story or the
Right.
writing or the narrative.
That's fair.
Right, hence why I was just saying it was a cool shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, there are cool shots in this. Like,
Yeah, but okay, but let's go look at a shot that was really cool from a movie we watched recently, The Suicide Squad. The
Okay.
helmet reflection fight.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's a cool shot that everybody was going, "Oh my god, that was a really cool shot. That was really well done." But it also feels like it's working with the story.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
it
it's
makes
yeah,
sense
it
that
does-
it's taking place. It's a big pivotal part of that scene.
Yeah, it does both.
They
It's
do
both
the
a cool-
dollhouse thing once, and then it's like, okay, we're never going to do that again. Like it was literally just there for the one shot. Okay, we did that. Let's make the movie total schlock now.
Mhm. Yeah,
So-
I
and
will
you
agree
also
with
get
this.
that thematic aspect of it as well, where you've got these former friends literally trying to kill each other in the reflection of a symbol of peace, supposedly.
Right, that's why I was
Right.
going to say the Suicide Squad does both. I'll admit.
Yeah, I was about to
like-
say, and Suicide Squad. Well, also it does it both in like a negative example too, because we have that shot of the rain, and while that shot looks cool, it is very like,
impossible.
it's like yeah, impossible.
And actually, like, takes care of a plot problem that they would have had to contend with otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Suicide Squad. It's a great example movie because it does many things well and also poorly.
It does
Exactly.
many things. It is a movie.
It is.
When it comes to Malignant's ability of being a scary modern horror movie,
Oh, don't fucking throw the chair.
Well, no, he's showing because it's like
Yeah,
I know,
the added
I know.
heat really
He-
Once
works.
yeah,
again,
he
like
even
I
added
said,
yeet.
this is the thing. This is going to be weird. We might completely agree with the mental. That's what I was kind of worried about. It's like, oh, Because like I thought he was going to be defending the movie. However,
Oh,
he is
no.
pointing out the fucking dumb bullshit in the movie, which there is a lot. So it's like,
Here's the thing. I was hoping
we might be with him on this one.
When we came into this, I was specifically thinking like I'm waiting for him to say something stupid. Like,
yeah,
that's kind
of
just
once
it.
Again, but once again, it's like, yeah, but he's attacking a dumb movie. It's that fucking meme of the two hands coming together. It's like Femento, Yarp, Malignant's fucking stupid.
Not so much. Like, the only real scary thing about it is the horrendously poor quality of the writing, with the dialogue, for example, getting so ridiculously on the nose that it's almost as if the writers forgot to write dialogue and just used technical explanations from their notes.
All my life, I've yearned for a blood connection with someone. Yet in the end, it was right in front of me.
Yeah, that is very much
it was
the anime trope of people's dialogue literally just being a transcript of exactly what they're thinking and feeling at that moment. It's not a good thing.
But that said, the more you rewatch and think about this film, the more you can find clues that that was kind of the point. That it's meant as an homage to crappy.
So this is one of the shots we were talking about. Oh, like she just parks this car like 2 feet away from a fucking edge.
But he's going down the same theory rabbit hole we went down, where we're like doing this thing of maybe it's an homage to really shitty horror movies. Maybe it was meant to be bad. We don't know that. That's pure theory crafting.
But there is, like I said, it's crazy how it's like us, Red Letter Media, and Femento are all fucking saying the same thing. Maybe this movie is intentionally a parody.
It has to be, and James Wan just fucking.
It might be.
But until confirmed, we don't know that.
I'm really curious. So maybe after this, can we like maybe look into see if there's any interviews with James Wan about the movie?
Yeah, it's worth a look.
Because they did say that, where it's like, and like they would have to see like they'd actually have to hear what he says about it, and I'd be kind of curious to see what he actually says if he does say anything about the movie.
Campy 80s horror movies that the audience can laugh at more than be scared of. We have the main actors selected from arguably the worst Conjuring movie.
Unless Curse of La Llorona is also part of the universe.
We have nonsensically moody locations like a suburban house attic with a giant industrial fan. We have
I love how much of a fucking.
Which is so fucking weird, by the way.
I love how much of a red herring
so
that.
Dusty and full of cobwebs if it's got a fan that fucking big.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was laughing my ass off on how much of a fucking red herring that fucking fan was.
It's literally like a biggest red herring, and it's like I would have bought it like if I didn't I would have bought where it was if they didn't fucking pull the rug from under me. Because it's like, oh wait, no, this is in our house. Why is there a fucking big fan in our house?
Unbelievable characters like a husband who gets so mad about having the TV closed on him that he starts accusing his pregnant wife of being pregnant.
No. Yeah.
This is why you're pregnant. He's spitting facts.
I love how just out of nowhere asshole he gets. By the way, like this could have been like a bit of tension on like you keep getting pregnant and then having miscarriages. Maybe it is time to just not work.
You just don't understand why you're not an alpha male.
Who wrote the movie?
Also, you keep putting dialogue in his mouth that implies he actually cares about the baby or her.
Which apparently he just doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He's a 1980s movie bully who grew up and got a bitch pregnant.
No, he didn't get her pregnant. She keeps getting pregnant, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently he has nothing to do with the process.
So he's a bully and a cuck. Understood.
Hey, don't kink shame, okay?
It all makes sense now.
And he likes UFC, so he's a bad man.
Oh no, Filmento makes sense. Fuck.
People keep telling me not to kink shame, but then they keep having shameful kinks. I don't get it.
By the way.
I'm sorry. Like,
hold on.
I was kind of invested at this point. Like, but like, so I was like, oh, that's terrible. But then like immediately I was smashed out of it because it's like, oh wait, her head just got smashed in. She's a nurse. Why isn't she like reporting or like going to the hospital or something?
I would hold on. I would like to point out to the audience, like definitely from the spoiler warning, this is the inciting incident.
Yeah, this is the most important moment of the entire movie. Is him smashing his fucking pregnant wife's head into a concrete fucking wall.
And if she goes
to be
back to
fair-
the hospital to have it looked at, or even not even to a hospital, a trusted friend or a sister or something, if she doesn't want to deal with like questions about how it happened, if anybody looks at the back of her head, this movie doesn't happen.
Yep.
Somebody
Well,
just when he's
Well, to be fair though, it's not like the back of her head that's the problem, because remember, it has to fucking split open like a goddamn like canyon to fucking reveal the
Uatu.
yeah. Fucking
I'm not even calling him Gabriel anymore. Fuck it, that's Uatu for fucking Total Recall.
yeah.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
We have a turn of events that mean nothing to the audience in the context they have and yet still get framed as if we just learned that Bruce Willis was dead all along.
Also,
Yeah, you get a lot of that where somebody will say something and the other person is directed to not react so that we can do a slow camera pan on it and another fucking music sting.
yeah, I was going to say this movie is heavy with the fucking music stings.
Yeah,
Like,
but I
the
don't
same
really agree with the point that he's making though. Like he's saying, like you're saying that the musical cue is obnoxious and annoying, but what he's saying is we're presented information and the character has a reaction to it that we're supposed to understand, and it's like we're supposed to understand that it's significant. We're not supposed to understand the meaning of it.
Yeah, I guess that depends on which one. The one he used was when they go to the mother and they say, like, hey, did I ever have like a sibling? And then the mother goes, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because like,
Well, she would, based on what
Yeah.
she knows about Gabriel, that makes sense for her.
and we get
for
like the
character.
obnoxious music sing, but then we also get the explanation as to why she reacted like that. Because she has all these tapes that like where, you know, younger Emily is talking to the
Well,
the fucking
true,
toy phone.
but even the information that she's presenting is wrong because she doesn't give them the information they need. She still thinks she's under the impression that Gabriel is a made up, like imaginary friend. You know what I mean? And that's not the case. So she kind of sends them on this whole tangent, like this side quest where it's like, oh, you know, you just made him up, and you know, we thought if we loved you, you'd be fine. And it's like that has nothing to do with the problem and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Gabriel's clearly an actual like fighting force.
So I think it's
Yeah,
odd that it's
because-
kind of set up as like a misdirect.
I guess. Hang on,
Because all this information is being exposited to the audience to make you think, yeah, he's your imaginary friend, or maybe some kind of demon possession or something. But it's all like, well, no, he's not that. It's just that's what we want you to think right now. But in like 20 minutes, we're not going to give a shit about any of this.
Right.
So again, it's like I agree with what he's saying, but I don't agree with his argument.
Yeah, the overall point is weird, but the specific example he uses is fine.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I hate you.
I
Fuck
like
you,
I was
James
talking
Wan.
about it. Fucking
Fuck you, James Wan. You son of a bitch.
I thought you were about to hit on Filmenta. 'Cause, like,
No, he didn't
his-
fucking
his-
do it. James Wan
editing-
did it. Okay.
Filmenta, your editing on this video is actually kind of hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you caught that, but there was a fucking when he put in the tape, like he labeled that tape exposition when he went to put it in. It's like,
Yeah.
damn. like I said, like his editing's pretty fucking on point with this.
This is what I was
episode.
talking about when
Yeah.
it comes to the musical stings. By the way, I'm adopted.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It's the exact same one every single time.
Which,
so it becomes like a fucking meme.
The comparison
Well, yeah,
was made to
because,
fucking Ancient Lamentation from fucking Snyder Cut.
Oh,
Well, no,
God.
oh god, god damn it. But Ninja, you brought up something that like I probably would have gotten by the third time, but like it was really interesting that you brought it up. That it's a remix of the "Where Is My Mind" by Pixies, which was also played in Fight Club, which has a
You
very
met me on a very strange day of my life.
very strong, but like it's almost Fight Club, but it's like not.
Well, but it literally is the ending of Fight Club, where they're
I'll be right
standing there watching everything explode.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about the movie itself because like it's trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
similar, but then it's like, wait a minute, hold up.
Well, that's the thing, is like the whole movie tries to be this gigantic, but it's not. It misdirects you with exposition that means nothing because it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're so used to exposition dumps being like, hey, this is information to pay attention to, this is important, and it's like, no, none of this is relevant in the slightest. And I guess that's the twist. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Her fucking reaction's so good too. Like it holds on her for a good like fucking 10 seconds. Where she
It does. No, that's why. No, that's why I really hated the musical sting. I actually really hated the musical sting.
The full time thing.
No, yeah.
What?
I'm adopted. It's like it really wants you to really like sit there and simmer on that fact with this music. Isn't it creepy? Isn't it
so
scary?
Deep. So deep. You're just too small brain. You get it. Like I said, that's what I'm curious. I really want to see.
Shaq looks like he's staring at her, waiting for her reaction.
I know. Like I said, his editing's really fucking good, dude. It's cracking me up. All right. Yeah, like I said, I'm curious if like I really want to know if like James Wan's like, I got you guys, or if he's actually like, it's just so deep in commentary, and I just don't think you would understand if you didn't use your brain. It's like, I'm curious. I'm really curious.
He brings up his underwater take again.
No, I'm talking about James Wan. But I feel like James Wan is the type of guy to have a fucking good time. So we'll see.
So yes.
I hate the fact he's making me laugh right now.
No, he could be good
Why?
sometimes. Like that's the thing.
We don't begrudge people being good. We want them to be good.
Yeah,
And we don't want them to be bad.
man.
We just want to use them as a jumping off point to talk about the movie.
Yeah, and if like fucking like if Patrick Williams made like a great fucking video, then and like he admitted that he's all fucking dummy and fucking thing, it's like
we would make a whole event over reacting to that shit.
Yeah, that'd be
Jesus
great.
Christ.
That'd be amazing. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, like fucking let's take it in stride.
Clearly, when Malignant sold itself as a new vision of terror, it actually meant that it's so incompetent at terror that it's a comedy, and that's very accurate.
Oh
because
god, yeah. Pause for a second, because that brought up something I brought up a similar point in a different point in the movie where you having this kind of monster where it's like a normal human, but everything's on like backwards. So the way they move is weird. The way they interact with things is always just a little bit off. So it's in that uncanny valley area. That works really effectively until you see them move for an extended period of time in a brightly lit room. That's the one thing you don't want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because the inherent goofiness of someone running backwards massively undercuts any horror the situation had. For me, that was when Detective Guy was chasing her down a hallway, and we actually just got to see like a full extended cut of them running in a straight line, and it looks fucking hilarious. But yeah, you get that here as well, where they have this horror thing they're going for, and this is why we had such a conversation about what genre it even falls into, because you don't put your monsters on screen like this if it's horror. You just don't do that. It is not done.
Or you do it like towards the very end of the movie.
Yeah, it's like the very end of the movie when we're down to the wire and like our heroes are finally facing off against it. That's when you see it in more of its full glory. But shit like this, no. And what they do in this movie is go full Matrix with it, and then the monster is like going on a rampage, but it's like backwards kung fu with cheat codes on.
With cheat codes on, because it had a lot of issues taking on one person towards the beginning of this movie, and then
cops are like ninjas. They have one power level divided by the number of them that are in the room.
Oh, I fucking forgot about the equation. My bad.
These are the basics of Shadow Clone Jutsu. I am disappointed, Max.
Totally right. I'm sorry. I failed you. I must go all out just this once.
no doubt it ranks as one of the worst modern mainstream horror movies you'll find. Now, whether being a bad horror movie on purpose makes Malignant a good movie overall, that's up to you. If you love it for being positively campy, then I'm sure it's great. If
That's fair.
Okay.
you hate it for being negatively low-quality horror, then I'm sure it's terrible. Like, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that since it was designed to be terrible at horror, it can now be used as a very useful...
Was it though?
Hold on.
No,
yeah,
hold
that
on.
was-
Yeah, you
what's
can't.
the evidence
No.
for that?
Yeah, you can't just say it was on purposely made like this. Like, because I'm going under
Yeah,
the
once again, we're
impression
all
that-
confused about it. We don't know.
Yeah, that James Wan did this like not on purpose. He genuinely wanted to make a horror movie, and we just had accidentally got a comedy.
Yeah,
I mean, the closest evidence you could have is that clearly the man is capable of making horror movies because he's got a long track record.
Yes.
So you could try and make that as your argument, but even then, you still can't say with certainty that it was intentionally designed to be bad.
Yeah, he's not really making like he's not presenting any evidence. He's not really making an argument for this, other than just stating it.
Full chart of pitfalls to avoid when making a modern horror movie you actually want to be scary. And so, let's do that. Let's take a look at exactly how Malignant successfully ruins its inherent scariness on all core fronts of the genre.
Okay, ruins in its inherent scariness. There's a couple of assumptions in that statement. In that, if not for the things that he's about to mention, this movie would have been very scary. Right? That's the premise of what he's doing here. That's like the setup for this argument.
Okay.
And already I'm just like, you made a very high bar for yourself to clear. Because he's effectively going to propose fixes for the movie that will take away the comedy and replace it with more scare factor. And he's going to have to do that without changing the premise at all. Without changing, the plot points, the things that actually happen from story beat to story beat. And dude, just those on their own. I have a twin in the back of my head. The doctors shoved it in there because they couldn't get rid of it. It can control electricity and like
He's literally a
it
tumor.
backwards ninja kills people. Like, dude, to getting rid of the comedy from this movie would be much like removing Gabriel from Emily. You're just gonna have to shove it even further in there.
I mean, it can be done, but we're just gonna shove it in. You pray to God that it doesn't hit its head later.
Here's how to succeed at failing at horror.
Wait, here's how to succeed at failing at horror.
So he's going like, okay, if you're going to make a deliberately bad horror movie, here's how you do it in a way that's not funny, but being funny is why famously bad horror movies are watched. So what's he doing?
Yeah, this is really weird because I immediately think of something like Plan 9 from Outer Space. Plan 9 from Outer Space, you could like it feels like it's supposed to be a horror movie, but because of all the shit acting and direction, that it just completely falls on its face.
Well, yeah, it's like Ed Wood is one of those classic examples of like the same trap he just fell into here, where he's assuming that it was on purpose that it was this bad. People said the same thing about Ed Wood. Surely no competent filmmaker would make something this bad on purpose. And the producers of the movies were like, yeah, no competent would. It's like, are you completely leaving out the possibility that maybe he just wasn't at the top of his game, that he just made a thing that was shit?
Yeah.
The first core horror issue here is the characters being so empty and unalive that it's very difficult to care about them or their safety.
I would argue subjective.
But no, you can say it's like, because we have no scenes where we connect with these stories or with these characters or their stories or anything they are given. Like the sister has her whole thing where she's trying to be an actress and she's working these jobs she clearly doesn't think are very good. It's like you have these little hooks of personality that can make us care about a character, or just generally want them to succeed. It doesn't take a lot. So
Right.
failing to establish that makes them seem so much more flat than they could otherwise. Like the detective. Tell me anything about that guy's personality.
He likes hot girls.
Yeah. He's the
Yeah.
pretty boy in the office.
Yeah, he's the pretty boy.
That's not
Is
his
this-
personality.
Is dismissive.
He
That's how
doesn't
other
have
people
one.
react.
Yeah, he
to
doesn't
him.
have one. Yeah.
Yeah, and see, this is what I mean. It really doesn't take a lot, but it's very conspicuous when it's not there.
Mm.
The main hero, Madison, for example, has no distinguishable personality.
Okay,
Essentially,
hold on. Did he just call her a hero?
Well,
I don't know if I would use that
Well,
terminology.
once again, we had this discussion before where he's clearly he's foreign, so his English might not be his first language. So what
Dude,
I
he
would
speaks English better than most English speakers.
Very
What are you
true.
trying to say?
Yeah,
He
I would
speaks
just
better
say
than me.
protagonist. Like you could
Yeah,
say
but I
she's
don't-
the protagonist.
I don't know if he knew I don't know if I think he meant protagonist when he said
The man makes YouTube videos about movies. He absolutely
come
should
on,
know who the
man.
Okay, all
protagonist
right.
is.
I'm trying to be good faith to him.
No, that's too much.
But your good faith is assuming he's more ignorant than he actually is.
True.
Yeah,
Like,
you
no.
ass.
Oh no, fucking the prejudice of lower expectations.
Oh no.
Oh no, the racism.
Racism, accidental racism.
the main hero, Madison, for example, has no distinct
Yeah, it is weird, Ninja, that he says it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's just like, why did you? Okay, I mean, sure.
she is. I mean, she is a hero. Though. She
Especially
does
in the
save
context of
day.
this movie.
She just saved the day at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
As dumb as it fucking, it's just fucking stupid as that was.
Yeah, but she saves the day from her fucking self, so I mean...
True.
Yeah, she's going to jail at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah,
But
she's
she's
like
not,
serving
that's-
85 consecutive
I
life
don't know, man.
sentences.
There's no cops left to fucking arrest.
We
her,
need-
apparently.
Yeah, she killed them
even
all.
the
No,
even the chief of
Malignant-
police is like dead, I guess.
Malignant connects to the MCU. She's going to be part of the next Suicide Squad.
That's not so. What?
Because Warner Brothers had a thing on this.
They connected to the MCU.
To the
DCU.
To the DCU. Did I actually
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
MCU.
You
Yeah,
said
whoops.
I was like,
MCU.
wait, what?
I flubbed that up. No, yeah, the
Yeah.
DCEU and fucking she's part of the Suicide Squad now.
What are we? Some
She
kind
just,
of,
she just starts
Superman
walking
on the back of
backwards right next to Harley Quinn.
fucking stuff. Right.
Yeah, we got Shark Boy, we got Rat Girl, and we got the backwards lady.
The backwards.
I'm sorry, the fucking what?
Who has the little trophy spike
has-
thing.
She has superpowers. We swear. I promise.
Harley Quinn
Well, she
in
did
order
it
to
off and on. They were intermittent.
Yeah.
Harley
She
Quinn
may-
in order
she
to
might be
activate.
Nightcrawler. She might be a fucking Captain America. We're not sure.
I don't really know.
Well,
They're
it's not
captured-
clear, and even the movie doesn't know.
They're captured in behind enemy lines, like they're stuck in a cell, and Harley just like, well, here goes nothing, and then hits her on the back of the head, dual wake Gabriel.
She triggers her and fucking like activates her ability. Oh my god!
That's my secret cap. The back of my head's always open.
It's always bleeding. It literally is. It's always bleeding. Oh my god! Confirmed. She's Miss Springburn.
She springs, Gabriel springs them all, and then just starts going crazy, like in the police station.
Starts talking to them on their phones.
Gabriel, stay off the comms.
Gabriel, stay off the time to cut the tumor. Gabriel, stay off the
God damn it, Gabriel.
No! Stop making this good. Stop making me want
Making it
this.
stretch. Entertaining.
Gabriel and King Shark interacting with each other.
Head.
And always stay off the comms.
personality. Essentially, she's a nurse who never does anything nurse-related or really anything else either.
Yeah,
I guess I don't see how that's super relevant. I mean, other than the back of the head bleeding.
Yeah,
Like,
that's,
what does her job
it's-
have to really do with the story?
well, hang on,
If it was
that's actually-
more established or it was a bigger part of her identity, or she uses the fact that she's a nurse to do things, then we could like comment on how much it's used. But It's literally just she has some kind of job. It's like she's
Yeah.
come
Has
home from
scrubs
work
on.
and she's pregnant. She could have been wearing literally any uniform from any job. I think scrubs are just a little bit more easy to recognize, so we
but
fill in the blank a bit more efficiently.
yeah, but the problem is, it's like, dude, like if she's got scrubs on, then she needs to fucking go to the hospital. Like,
Yeah.
like
See,
that's
and
the
that's
thing.
where it
Like
becomes a
that's
problem when we
that's the
have something
problem
in
with it.
before
It's like, yeah, she needs to take care of this medical emergency. And it's
That's
like,
just racist.
and so it's like, yeah, like it kind of goes again, like her being a nurse, like could have been literally, she should have been like a waitress or something. But the fact that she's like any kind of medical profession,
Oh,
and it's
waitress
dude,
would have
come on.
been.
He's yelling at her, "You don't have enough flair on."
Bam!
Stop being pregnant. Slam!
Stop getting cummed in, idiot.
Stupid babaka.
Wham! Just every time.
Bam! Thank you, ma'am.
I really need to get some rest.
I got a bad feeling about this.
The key reason we're given to care for her is through the sympathy of her losing her baby, which doesn't really work because it's so superficial. We can see from her belly that she's pregnant and then also hear that it's making her feel bad,
Dumpling's been giving me a really hard time.
and that's it, then the baby's gone.
Okay,
What's
but
the
why do you need more than that? I guess I don't.
Yeah,
understand
it's
where
like the
the
fact that
complaint
she's
is.
shown to be pregnant, and the inciting incident of this movie is that she lost a baby because of her abusive fucking husband. It's like, you could have had this movie have no
Wait.
monster, no evil twin, and
Wait.
literally just her as a human being dealing with the fucked up circumstance she finds herself in after that night, and you would have like a perfectly good drama.
Wait.
It's like, you don't need a lot more than losing a baby, because we get from how cringy that scene was, we do get enough clues in that dialogue that she's been trying to have a baby for a long time, to the point where she's sticking with a man who's obviously no good. She just keeps trying. We find out this is like, she just really wants that family connection. It's like, you have stuff here to work with. I don't
But,
think
like,
it's any more superficial than anything else. I don't
this
think it's a
just-
problem.
This just occurred to me. What awoke Gabriel? Was
Being
it the
hit in the back of the
hit?
head.
Or
Is the
was
fact
it
that
the
it opens
third
the wound, I think.
baby?
Well, from what we're being told, it seems like a combo. Because
I
all the life
guess?
he's been feeding on her pregnancies to grow stronger, and then when the back of her skull got cracked, he was allowed to break out and break free, I guess.
Yeah.
But then he also ate the third fetus?
Yeah.
Uh,
He
like-
lives in her brain, but feeds on her, like, uterus somehow.
But
Gross.
it's so fucking weird. They really shouldn't have tied the fucking fetus thing over.
Yeah,
Like,
no, they
that's
really
such a-
shouldn't have.
that's such a
And there was
weird fucking
nothing in
thing.
the movie to imply it up to that point either.
Mhm.
It's like, it was literally just the back of the head being hit, and that's all we had. And you didn't. Well, I say you did need more, but like, obviously any more explanation that makes the most remote amount of sense would have been better. But the fact that he was growing stronger from her fetuses, it doesn't add anything. It makes the whole situation even more confusing somehow. And it was
Yeah.
already fucking broken.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like weirded out. But like,
Like, if you only associate negative emotion with the baby, why would we care about losing it? At least generate some positive
Because
energy.
it's a fucking
it's a
human
baby.
being, you psychopath.
Yeah. It's like, we can
Jesus
associate nothing but
Christ.
negative emotions with a character and still be sad when they die, because you just seen a person fucking die.
what are you talking about?
But you know, empathy is only desired for the best people in the world.
The good people, the ones who
Fucking
can't.
Saruman in The
the
Lord of
ones
the
who-
Rings is nothing but evil in those movies, but still, when he like lands spine first onto the back of that wheel thing, we're all just like, oof.
Yeah.
Because
and-
however evil he was, that is a brutal way to go. And we just
And-
have that natural
and-
empathy as like, oh my god, that's fucking brutal.
And we also
Sick
feel a
as
little
all hell,
bad.
but goddamn.
We also feel a little bad for Grey Worm because Theoden was willing to kind of forgive him and talk to him, and then like after he stabs Saruman, he gets fucking shot.
Yeah. Absolutely had it coming, but like
There
was a path to redemption there, and he just
Yes.
didn't take it.
Like that's kind of
Well,
what makes
this
them
is one of those
sympathetic.
things about empathy. It's like you are shown she lost the baby. It's like, yeah, she obviously had a lot of negative, emotions and things around that, but most moms still want to have the fucking baby, and now she can't.
Yeah.
That is
Not even
sad.
most
it's
moms.
not.
Every mom thinks that the pregnancy sucks. Every mom goes
Well,
through
no,
that
no,
shit
no.
like
I
saying,
mean,
"Oh my
like,
god, it's like I'm fat and bloated.
there
I
are
can't
moms out
move,
there
it's
who
like,
don't
hurts."
want to keep it. Like, there are moms who would be like, "Oh, I lost the baby, yay!" There's some fucked up moms out there,
Yeah,
but
there's some
Yeah.
disgusting people, but like,
Oof.
yeah. But the point is, it's like, yes, she's dealing with negative emotions with the abuse and all that, but it's still very clear that she cares about the baby.
Yeah.
Also, she keeps trying because she very much wants a baby, and this is another miscarriage. Like, that's brutal.
Yeah, miscarriages, like, even like abortions too, they do a lot of psychological damage to women. Like, even if they claim they want or don't want the baby or whatever, like, that stuff still festers in the back of their mind.
Yeah,
It's not even that. It's like, even if you want, that you want to have the abortion, that you absolutely cannot give this kid a life it deserves, you can't care for it, its life would be miserable, your life would be miserable, it is better for everyone that you terminate the pregnancy before, giving birth to a child that you then take care of. You want that. You want that. But just the process, physically and chemically, that happens to your body when you do that, it raises hell. It is a nightmare to go through.
Yeah, because like it goes against like literally human nature. Like our human nature is to reproduce and stuff like that, and that's why that's why women have motherly urges and stuff like that. People call it like baby crazy, but it's like literally it's the same thing as like if a guy sees a hot woman, they want to bang because that's what we are.
I don't know if I'd say it's the same thing, but
hold on a second.
But it's similar in like reproductive, like in moving forward with the human species.
So
even like I said, even if like they don't care about the baby or anything, shit still hurts. It's like it does something to them.
Yeah, to further go off that point, I've had a friend who's had a couple miscarriages, and yeah, it's fucking hell, man. Mm-hmm. Like they described they were not having a good time.
Yeah. And it's like I said, I've as well as me as well, and it's like, yeah, it sucks.
Like, for example, by having Madison spend time to excitedly build the nursery. That way, when all that excited, passionate effort gets shattered by taking the baby away, we might
contrasted with everything else we know about the relationship and the life she's living. She's living a miserable life, but she wants a baby so bad that she's putting up with living with this asshole in order to get it. That's so having her like excitedly building a thing is like that would work for a very different movie.
Mm-hmm. That would put it more on the Lifetime fucking movies that Red Letter Media was talking about.
Yeah, because then you'd have this as like the more classic horror movie setup where we've got a big old happy family, they've got everything going for them, and then it all just goes to hell because monster.
Mm-hmm.
Which you could have done, but they clearly wanted to do something different.
Might actually feel something. But no, really the only form of true energetic passion Madison expresses is when she's adamant to lock herself in her mistreating husband's house to sit around and do nothing.
You don't have to.
She said
it's her fucking house, bro.
Yeah.
She's also.
She said it was.
She's also afraid that a monster is trying to get her. Remember,
yeah, she's paranoid and she feels vulnerable as fuck. So yeah, she's gonna.
A black figure fucking snapped her husband's neck and attacked her.
And caused the miscarriage of another baby.
She saw it, and she thinks she saw it outside her fucking door the next day. Like, yeah, you'd be a little peeved.
Yeah,
but his criticism isn't that she's showing passion here; it's that this is the only time she shows it. Is his point?
Okay, I guess still.
This is my home, and I'm not going to let it be taken away
so
from me.
He does include the line that contradicts what he just fucking said.
Yeah.
It's her home.
But even if Madison was the greatest, most affable hero of all time, it still wouldn't matter because the movie makes the mistake of immediately making her immune to the threat posed by the monster.
She wasn't!
I wonder
her
why
pregnancy!
That is.
No, her pregnancy was directly...
No. He's specifically talking about afterwards, but like it's not. She's not immune to it. She's experiencing these fucking murders, and of course, as we later find out, they're actually like she's the one doing them. So she's actually directly affected by everything the monster does.
Mm-hmm.
So I completely disagree with what you just said.
Yeah, this point is false.
Yeah, like she's not immune. She's not immune. So back it up a little bit so we can get the full context of it.
If Madison was the greatest, most affable hero of all time, it still wouldn't matter because the movie makes the mistake of immediately making her immune to the threat posed by the monster. See, in her
that's not true.
Yeah.
her second full scene, Madison comes downstairs at night to find her husband having been killed by this scary, shadowy creature, leading to her then escaping and being caught by the creature, and then...
Hi. Where am I?
Also, Wyatt. So I thought he was going after that. No, you're totally right. She loses her fucking baby, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking significant. That's not immune to the fucking effects of the monster.
Yeah, so, yeah, my point still stands.
Yeah, your point's... like I said, I was, like, once again, trying to be good faith here, but no. He fucked me over. He's specifically talking about... he's specifically talking before that. So it's like, alright. Thanks, douchebag. I was trying to be nice to you, but fuck me.
Yeah, that's... Be nice to Fomento.
It's okay. You're in a hospital.
Right, so it's 15 minutes into your 2-hour horror movie, and you've already established that the monster isn't a threat to the hero.
What do you mean?
That's literally false. Like, that's false. That's the end of that.
And you could also just as easily swing this as a positive that we're being foreshadowed very early on in the movie as to what the truth is.
Yeah.
So, just as a flat-out criticism, I'm not sure I buy it.
And means that all the following scare scenes between them do not work. Like, what
do you mean? She's literally being experienced to the trauma. Like, it's not physically fucking touching her, but it's making her see these fucking horrific murders. The next fucking day, she's puking because of what she fucking witnessed. Remember that. Like, there's the fucking news report, and then she's like fucking vomiting after that because she's like, oh fuck, I saw that. That was a real fucking thing I saw. That was an actual person dying.
Also,
like,
not to mention,
horrible.
Not to mention, can't affect her. It's borderline like fucking with her because with the fucking door being flung back open.
Yeah, we find out later on that it's showing her everything deliberately.
Mm-hmm.
Are we supposed to think here? That the monster just didn't feel like killing her the first time, but now suddenly had a change of mind? Like, no, you've successfully informed the audience.
Fucking with her. It's literally fucking with her. That's the whole point. It's actually actually messing with her.
That the hero
That's the point. It's psychological damage.
Yeah, it's
isn't actually in danger, and that especially with the baby already gone, there's nothing here to fear.
What do you mean?
No. Fomento, why? This was the chosen video.
The baby!
Our hopes weren't that high.
Yeah.
Mine!
It started out strong.
Yeah.
Are you some sick individual that just leaves a baby?
Having close...
Okay, comedy.
Yeah, the KSI thing was a little weird.
calls is great, but you still want to protect the fear factor. Here, for example, maybe Madison successfully locks herself in the nursery away from the monster, and as she stumbles and starts losing consciousness, the monster is trying to get in, but then cop sirens begin sounding, and then...
No.
Yeah, his proposed fix doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, it changes exact jack and or shit.
This is weird. Is he saying losing the baby's not that big of a deal?
Yes.
Yes,
he's saying he didn't have any emotional investment in it, I think is his bigger point, which is still kind of odd.
Still kind of odd. Like, yeah.
Didn't you know the baby is meaningless in this movie about a woman who keeps miscarrying?
There's that fucking lame thing. It's like, oh yeah, we put a fucking baby or thing in here to like make you feel something for this character, but like even still, like that is still a feeling that you have. Like it's it just goes with that CinemaSins thing, or of like him saying in the Predator video, like, "Oh, just leave fucking the guy behind." It's like, but are you like a human being?
Right, we forgot. Yeah, I
You,
forgot
like,
that
a
happened in
person.
CinemaSins of
So
fucking
in
Predator.
CinemaSins, there's that part where fucking Poncho gets fucked up, and like CinemaSins like, leave him, dude. This is what I would do. That's like, wait, what? It's like, are you admitting to being a piece of shit, like, without even realizing it?
And breaking the fucking soldier's creed.
Yeah, so it's just strange. It's like, all right, I guess these guys just don't have human emotions.
Or they look at these things like it's a video game where, you know, these are just characters. It's like, well, fuck that guy. It's like, I don't
But
care.
even then, it's
But
still
you don't
having
care
empathy.
because you're
You
not
still
thinking
have,
of it like a thing that's actually happening to a real person.
yeah, but like that's still like that's like the whole point of empathy, though. Like we can give empathy to fucking like inanimate objects. So it's like the whole point of like a movie is to be immersed in be a part of like what these characters struggle, right? So it's like
It depends. It's like you
maybe
do get movies like, I don't know, Freddy versus Jason, where it's basically a sport of killing horny teenagers between two monsters. So when we're looking at those teenagers, we're not seeing people. We're not treating them with empathy. We're here for a bloodbath. So
Sure.
our mentality throughout that entire movie is entirely different.
I guess I'm just a weird F-tard who cares about like a lot of shit like that.
No, yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, Max. Like, I get it.
Well, then, like I said, like I'll fairly admit that I'm like way overly emotional, but still, it's like, man. But it's a weird pattern that I'm noticing with like these guys. It's like, all right, like you don't relate to a woman losing her baby. Okay.
Because he didn't see her build a crib, or he didn't get a shot of her being excited to have the baby.
Or like, yeah, I want to be a mother. Like we just see her fucking like break down because she loses her fucking baby, her third baby.
Yes, and he's just like, why do you even care? You
Why do you
only
care?
associate
You're just-
negative emotions with it. It's like, bruh.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, all right, I guess you might be a monster. I might want to fucking put you on a watch list, but all right, food for thought.
Hi. You're in a hospital.
You get the exact same scare scene and result, but you still leave the possibility that maybe the monster just couldn't get to her in time. That it
What? No, hold on, no. Fucking Filmento, that would drastically decrease the threat of the monster because like, if
It's afraid of the
it
cops.
creates the signs problem. They have a problem getting through pantry doors. If this is the case and she locked the door and the monster wasn't able to get through, then you're telling me that, and then it contradicts the strength of the monster later, where it could very clearly have gotten through that door.
Yeah, you're drawing a weird parallel here. But he's saying that like the monster is afraid. I don't know.
No, he's saying like, oh, it just couldn't get through the door, like with the cops showing up. So it still shows the threat is still there. When, if anything,
Try
it
not
makes...
to get bogged down in his hypothetical movie that he keeps making up in his head.
Yeah, true.
And just tackle the points that he's making about the actual movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
but like the main thing is his proposed like movie makes less sense though.
Yeah, his
I agree. It's
his
dumb.
proposed fixes actually, if it's like we still have the movie, but with only like these occasional change scenes, it further breaks like this hypothetical.
it might now be coming back to finish the job.
I guess that's
But-
funny.
That was the thing.
Yeah, Ninja and I are just, we're both just like, all right.
Yeah, no, but like I said, his example is weird. It's like it's coming back to finish the job. We don't know that. That's kind of the horror aspect of it. That's why a movie we're going to talk about later is really effective because we don't know what the fucking monster's going to do.
Yeah, and I didn't even know the premise of that movie, and it really helped because you're kind of piecing it together as you go along. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, it's almost like an uneasy feeling is like a good aspect of horror. And yeah, like I said, I'll defend the first half of this movie. The first part of this movie is a pretty effective horror movie. It's just what happens later kind of fucking ruins it.
As for the other characters, they're all much worse. We have a sister who takes every piece of information at face value as if she's less of a person and more of a figment of the plot meant to keep things moving.
her sister just got her fucking husband murdered and her baby
Well, okay,
miscarried.
look at it this way. It's her estranged sister because she does mention that Derek put them apart. So she's excited to finally have her sister back in her life. And up to this point, other than Derek being a fucking asshole, she has no reason not to trust her sister.
Yeah, it's like she takes everything at face value because on what basis would she question or disbelieve any of it?
Yeah, it's kind. I don't know. We're running into him being a psychopath again. I don't really know how to fix that.
Maybe when the killer attacked Madison, they formed like some kind of a psychic bond.
We have a mother who
But
exists
no, I'll be
only
honest,
to convey
that entire exchange was fucking absurd. It's like, in the shoes of the sister, you're trying to like take your sister's side. You're always like, no, come on, like hear my sister out, give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there's like a rational explanation here, and she's just describing it as she experienced it. It's like, don't just fucking write her off as crazy. But the way she does that is to say something even more crazy.
Of course.
And the movie does address it in kind of a hilarious way, but yeah.
exposition.
That's why we never throw anything out.
We have two detectives who are so empty that they could be replaced by any other two detectives who look the same, and
Not true. Not remotely true. That one is clearly not Wanda Sykes. You can't replace her with anyone else.
Yeah, you can't replace
no, well, hang on. We can replace her with Wanda Sykes.
Well, yeah, what if we just made her Wanda Sykes?
The only change
Wanda
you can make.
Sykes would carry a whole different vibe.
we can
Wanda
change
Sykes
it.
is a
No,
lot
yeah,
more
I
full of
think Slur's
herself.
got a good
It'd be
point.
different.
Yeah, Slur's got a good point there. The real Wanda Sykes would have been too serious.
It would have been too much Wanda Sykes.
Exactly.
So we gotta get diet Wanda Sykes.
Yeah.
Guys,
It's
we
like
have
just
Wanda
the right
Sykes at
amount
home,
of Wanda
okay?
Sykes.
Yeah, Wanda Sykes at home.
I loved that. While we were watching the movies, Ninja just made that joke. It's like, can we get Wanda Sykes? We have Wanda Sykes at home.
Wanda Sykes at
Wanda
home.
Sykes at home.
Regina Moss.
No, at this point, I almost feel bad for not knowing her actual name.
I know, I kind of feel bad.
Don't.
Because she's not bad. Like her
No,
Wanda
no,
Sykes-
she's fine in the
her
movie.
Wanda Sykes impression's pretty good.
She does a really good Wanda Sykes. Hey, just because you're a one-trick pony doesn't mean you're not a pony, okay?
Exactly.
You still get the fucking job done.
nobody would notice. I mean, most of the scare scenes in this movie are built on the monster killing people that we've barely even seen before. And while the gore is very well done and
what does that matter? You fucking psychopath?
Yeah, it's also part of the emergent mystery of the movie, because like as each new kill happens, and this isn't just this movie, it's mysteries involving murder in general. As each new victim comes, we get another piece of the puzzle as to what their commonality is. The intersection over which they all met, and that becomes like, oh, they all like investigated like this weird Siamese electric child. That must be the connection. It's like, I don't see that as a problem.
It's so weirdly accurate.
definitely
Just
cause
trying to
reaction.
describe this movie at all is gonna.
He's not a
make it
Siamese
scary.
child. He's a teratoma. He's literally.
He's a living tumor, though.
Okay, but that's not how either of those things work, because a
Yeah,
tumor
no.
cannot be conjoined with your own brain.
Yeah.
Because a tumor is its own self-contained organism. That's how they work. That's what a tumor is.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
No. Okay.
It's a conjoined. It's like a weird conjoined trend, but they could describe it as a tumor. It's weird.
Yeah, they keep doing that when it's like the word you're using for this thing and the thing you're describing, they don't match.
Exactly.
They don't match in the slightest.
The emotional connection here is so non-existent that there's really nothing and nobody.
No, it's not some guy. We at least have previous establishment through the fucking beginning, because this was the one. This is the guy that said the electricity thing. It's like he's eating the electricity.
Yeah. Even removing that scene, though, it's like clearly something went wrong with this guy and the doctor, and that's why like she's all fucked up. But once again, the main issue is not like this guy's death; it's the experiencing of the death of the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the main character is seeing all of these fucking deaths happen, and it's like fucking her up.
to fear for. Because despite all the gore and music and visual tricks, it's not like the monster will suddenly face the camera and attack the audience. The audience isn't a...
What?
When the fuck would that ever happen?
Well, it's
Why
like it's
would
one of
that
those
happen?
cheap 3D movies, like this fucking Silent Hill Revelations or something.
Oh,
It's like
man,
we gotta have the.
I missed the 2D ride, the 4D ride of Terminator.
Yeah.
character. Movies don't function that way. If you can't fear for the characters on screen, it's much more difficult to fear at all as opposed to just being squeamishly entertained by the brutality.
What?
I'm gonna rewind that because I
can
didn't.
you? Because like,
Let's
So we're gonna need you to fucking dissect this shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's,
sorry.
he's doing the word salad thing.
Let's break
You're
this
really
down.
good at breaking this shit down. So
Let's break this down like sentence by sentence.
The gore
So point one.
and music and visual tricks, it's not like the monster will suddenly face the camera and attack the audience.
So, okay, it's not like the monster will just face the camera and attack the audience. It's
My
almost
god,
a non.
that thing looks fucking goofy.
It's like the fucking Nemesis face.
It looks like one of the monsters from Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
Wait.
yeah. Start
Organize.
I was like,
Yeah. Find Gorgon.
Jesus Christ.
Give him the stupid one's voice where it's like, I don't want none.
no, he's fine.
I was dropped on my head as a child.
No, but like no.
We was
specifically-
hiding, Archer.
Who was the fucking Zaniac? Yeah, she's Zaniac. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, why does it have eyes?
Because it's
And-
a fucking tumor
and
thing.
teeth.
Shut up.
Because
What
it's
does
a
it have a mouth?
puma. It's a puma, okay?
Not a
Not a tumor. It's a
Not a-
teratoma.
It's not a
A
human.
really bad one.
Arnold in the middle of Kindergarten Cop has to deal with his conjoined twin.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
He already did a movie.
And
about
it's still
twins.
Danny DeVito.
I know. Yeah.
It's still Danny DeVito, yeah.
Just like in a backpack, like he's not even physically a baby holder things.
Arnold, you gotta help me out here. He's just rapidly swinging him around whenever he turns too hard.
No, it's
Wow.
it's like it's an action movie, so he's like fucking constantly like dodging bullets and like flipping around and shit. And, like,
Danny
doing
DeVito's just
fucking-
ragdolling on his
doing,
back.
like, and doing like those fucking like action rolls and shit like that, and like Danny DeVito's just like somersaulting on his head.
Yeah, I'm on his back. I'm the back man.
The big man.
Bag man.
I'd go out and I start eating garbage.
All right.
He started out so good. We were actually on his.
I was so on board.
Um,
with Memento, man.
he was doing such a good job, and then he just went off the fucking rails, man.
This is
Turned
one
into
fucking.
Memento.
But isn't it kind of interesting how, like, that one, I want to say logical fallacy, but that one fault in his has then ruined everything that came after it.
It's like the thing of what you call it? Not is it Comedy of Errors? It's where like it constantly just keeps like it cascades on itself. Where it's
Oh
just
yeah,
stupid,
or as Yahtzee would call it, a cock-up cascade.
Mhm.
Okay, so sentence one. Monster doesn't just look at the camera and attack the viewer.
Yeah, it's not
Makes no-
like the monster comes out at the camera or something, and
Yeah,
then we're just like, what the fuck? Why would it
almost
do that?
non-point. Moving on. Next sentence.
The audience isn't a character. Movies don't function that way.
The audience isn't a
The
character.
audience
Movies don't
isn't a
function.
character. Movies don't function that way. It's like,
So this comes back
Yeah.
to the whole thing about me talking about this guy not having empathy. Like, yeah, we're not fucking a character. We're not a fucking character in the movie. Like, this is the vessel for us. Are you like failing on that fucking part?
but yeah, the monster on the screen cannot come out and attack us. So, in order for us to get a gauge of the fact that this is dangerous and this is something to be scared of, we see what it does to somebody else. That's how this works.
And it's
So
clearly
what's the fucking
stabbing
problem?
the dad in the fucking face. Like,
But he doesn't care about the baby. Remember, he's not sad that the baby died. So that's
like,
what's fucking up every other argument. Because the baby died and she's invulnerable, we can't be scared. And it's like, why are you assuming she's invulnerable? I still don't understand that.
I mean, we know later on
Because
down
she
the
didn't
line
die.
that she
we
is,
know.
but for
Yeah, we
completely
know that
different reasons.
she knows she's invulnerable.
She's
too.
not invulnerable. She just
Well-
has her healing. There's a difference.
Well, no,
Well,
she's
no,
not.
it's like the thing
she's
isn't going to
invulnerable
come
this
for her.
She's invulnerable for this monster and the fact that it's not going to ever attack her. However, it will fuck up other shit.
Well, or at the very least, it's gonna, like, from her perspective, it's willing to give her a good old smack, because the door.
Well, that's just what it wanted her to see.
Yeah, I was gonna
Remember,
say,
that
like,
didn't
we don't-
actually happen.
We don't know if
It
that happened.
physically couldn't.
And once again, if that
Yeah.
did happen, it
No,
would
what do you mean
hurt
if? It physically can't. It has to use her body
Yeah,
to
it
do
has to
things.
use her body to do anything. It's all on her. It's all genjutsu that, like, making her think it's all happening.
That's,
God,
yeah.
this movie's fucking dumb.
I was going to say the later revelation that she's just not moving at all breaks the entire beginning. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Well, yeah,
saying.
it recontextualizes everything that you've seen in the film up to the point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what, twists before and all. It's just,
It was a bad
Fermento
twist.
is
should
this
be-
what the twist had to be?
Yeah, Fermento should be talking about that, but he's not. He's, once again, it's like he's just fun. Like,
So
he's just exposing the fundamental, like, not caring about his fellow man.
So, this isn't how movies are. I'm scratched up, and again, another non-sentence. Let's try the next one.
If you can't fear for the characters on screen, it's much more difficult to fear at all as opposed to just being squeamishly entertained by the brutality.
I mostly agree with, I think, what he's trying to convey. Maybe
Well,
it.
yes, but not in the context for which he's making it. He's saying it's like, because we don't have an emotional connection to the people that the monster kills, we don't really care about them. We're just being entertained by the
right,
the
which is like the point you brought up about Freddy versus Jason. But I don't agree with, like, in this movie, because that's
in this one it doesn't make sense, because when he watches like an episode of Criminal Minds and we get like the vicious murder scene at the start of the episode, does he rate that episode down because we're not emotionally connected to the victims?
Could.
Or is he taking the
think he
killing
might.
of this person as the establishing thing, and that's like another piece of the puzzle? That's what's setting up what comes next. It's like, we're not supposed to be attached to the people it kills, but the fact that it's this dangerous is supposed to make us care because we are attached to her, supposedly.
Allegedly.
And we know that this thing is connected to her. So everything that it does to somebody else, that makes us worry for her all the more. That's the idea. She's our emotional hook in.
All basically, he's just dumping word salad. That's just
Also, this sequence in particular, I wouldn't use this for his point, because this is where everything has gone crazy pants, and all there is for this scene is to be entertained by the brutality. There is nothing
I think
else.
that's what he's saying, though. It's like, yeah, this is the only good thing.
Hold on, I'll rewind him
For
like one more
this scene,
time.
yes, but what he was originally talking about wasn't this scene.
Yeah, I know, but he
Originally,
keeps
was
jumping the
talking
fuck
about
around, and we have a hard time, like, discerning which part he's talking about. Remember, like I said, with the whole fucking pregnancy thing, it's like, oh yeah, wait, he's not talking about the baby. And it's like, oh wait, he is talking about the baby. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah, so let's try this one more time.
If you can't fear for the characters on screen, it's much more difficult to fear at all as opposed to just being squeamishly entertained by the brutality.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Phil Mensa is just one of those guys who, like, speaks really quickly just to try to throw you off. He's not meant to be fucking slowed down to this point, because, like, yeah, he's making no fucking sense, basically.
Yeah, he's making
I
no
have
sense
no idea what
whatsoever.
that point even is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess, like,
Or at least I don't know what that point means relative to this movie, because, like I said, to make it make any kind of sense at all, we're jumping from scene to scene because he's trying to make vague statements that apply to the movie overall, but that's not how this works. You cite an example as to why things are or are not done a certain way.
Okay. Is just more joking.
And so if you
there we go.
want to make a movie that's not only scary looking but also scary, it needs to happen through the characters. Make us care.
It's literally happening through the character, though.
Yeah, that's
God
what
damn
that
it, why
whole
am I
thing
defending
was.
this
That's literally
fucking
what
movie?
happened. She, because of her connection to the thing that she doesn't understand yet, is forced to bear witness to the things it does. She is literally connected to it. Our emotional investment is her horror at what's happening. They couldn't. In fact, if I was going to criticize it in any way, I'd say it's almost too ham-fisted in the way it does it. It's too heavy with putting the character into that situation, in the exact opposite direction of his criticism. So, yeah, I'm not sure what more he would want, other than it was either he wants all of these characters to have had scenes in the movie up to this point, which would just make it massively overbloated, or he wants us to just care about them in some other way. I don't know.
Make us fear for their safety, because that is where true cinematic fear comes from.
Cinematic fear.
Right, as opposed to fake cinematic fear in this, where we don't give a shit about their safety because
reasons.
Because why? It's like, take the doctor guy, for example. It's like he's just on the phone. It's like one of his colleagues was murdered. He's like talking about it and he's just getting ready to go somewhere. Now, I don't know the guy. He's just a character in a movie I have no context for. And then I know he's probably going to die. I still don't want him to.
Yeah.
Like, if he... It seems like where he's trying to escape the thing, just inherently you're on his side. And then at the same time, you know that Emily's seeing all of this, and she's, like I said, our emotional hook. Yeah, you put all of it together. That's not the thing that makes this movie fall on its face.
Well, once again, sorry, it's because you have the ability to actually empathize with human beings, whereas Memento is showing that he can't. That's what I'm saying. It's so weird. Like, alright.
I may somewhat have an empathy problem, but it's never this fucking bad.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's just weirding me out, is all.
Why do we keep running into people that when we're like either looking at their content or just talking about something related to them, they're always just like some aspect weirder than me. Like Zack Snyder is somehow less articulate than me, and Memento is somehow less empathetic than me.
Well, we're all flawed beings.
It's like, you have to remember, the margin of error and what counts as normal is fucking wide when it comes to human beings.
Fair enough.
And also, like, you can admit that you have flaws. Like, this is the thing. I don't know if he realizes what he's saying makes him sound like a fucking psychopath.
But it absolutely doesn't register with him, because he's not thinking of these as characters that you empathize with. He's seeing them more as like props in a stage play. So he's not like, this is a character, and therefore, because it's a character in a thing, the standard I'm going to hold them to is like a real person. He's lowered that bar significantly to the point where it's like they might as well be characters in a Mortal Kombat game for how attached he is to them.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought up the mentality with which you go into different movies. It's like, if I go into like Freddy vs. Jason, trying to have empathy for those characters is a lost cause. You're just ruining the movie for yourself at that point.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I hope these people will escape Jason.
No, I don't.
The second key horror issue here is the supernatural monster being handled so poorly in practice that all of its inherent scariness just gets nullified.
Okay.
Yes, that one I agree with him completely on.
Well, hang on. I want to hear what he says.
Just that sentence that he said, it's like, its inherent scariness, which is what I was on about earlier with the Uncanny Valley, is nullified when you handle it like this. So, yeah, this is almost exactly the point I was making earlier, where this is not the kind of monster that we can see in a brightly lit hallway running in a straight line. and still consider as threatening as it was before.
Yeah,
Okay,
hence why I laughed my ass off when it was trying to run down that hallway, because we got a good glimpse of what it looks like in motion.
Whereas you get other things that can be brightly lit and become even scarier, like the Balrog. The more you see the Balrog, the scarier the Balrog is, because the Balrog is fucking horrifying.
Yeah, same as something like the Xenomorph. Same concept.
Yeah.
First off, like I mentioned, the movie introduces the shadowy creature with quite a bit of limitations. After coming off as a deadly force with the husband, not only does it then not kill Madison, but also doesn't kill or even really harm its next unknown woman victim.
Well, that's because there's a reason for that.
Yeah, there's a reason behind that. And your suggestion is to nerf the monster significantly. In your weird hypothetical movie, I mean.
Well, I mean, nerf it at which point? Because halfway through the movie, it gets an ultra buff.
Oh, remember, Fomento thinks in the alternate take of the, heading into the little baby room, that the locked door was enough to stop it, and that she just falls on her own. That would significantly nerf the strength of the creature, because...
Well, we know that didn't actually happen, though. So you have to take physical feats that we know that it did, and I always go to the fight the detective had with the monster, because in that fight, if it was as strong and as agile and as proficient as it was in the police station, he would have died in like 3 fucking seconds.
It makes me wonder if that beginning scene was written before, like, they figured out the twist. So they forgot to make it all line up.
It was, yeah.
Because if they had written that scene knowing the twist, then it just feels weird, because shit gets broken and we're never confirmed if because we don't see the baby's room after the first scare, so we wouldn't know if the door actually came off the hinges or not.
Why would that matter exactly?
Because for the strength argument, if it's okay. As I just completely lost my train of thought. I love it when that happens. So in this hypothetical movie, if the door does just stop it, then that means the future fights, when it's like clearly doing massive feats of strength, it's similar to in Signs, how they couldn't get past the pantry door. And so if that's before the twist that it was actually her doing it the whole time, and that's what I was saying to Slur, that they clearly made the scene in the beginning before they finally realized the twist.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree being able to pantry door is even a problem. Like, that's kind of what doors are designed to do. So...
Wait, wasn't the thing in Signs that these were like an advanced alien race that had come across the
They were
cosmos?
just aliens. All we know is they're aliens. We don't know anything else about their race.
Well, but if they
we know that they
across
got
the
to
stars,
Earth.
they have to...
if you get to Earth, like, from, like, a distant thing away, you have to be some kind of advanced.
Well, yeah, see, this is kind of the hole you fall into when you use aliens for anything. The very premise of them implies a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Same with using things like angels or demons or ghosts. Just the fact that you've written a world in which they exist carries a bunch of implications you have to be able to account for.
Mm-hmm.
And the implication of its massive amount of strength means it should go through a very old wooden door with almost no problem.
Or it at least is sentient or intelligent enough to know what it is or is not capable of.
Mm-hmm.
At minimum, and able to like problem solve well enough to open the door at maximum.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily. For all we know, they were sent here, like the creatures in Pacific Rim that send the kaiju. The kaiju aren't
Yeah.
Yes, but they're not really designed to be intelligent, whereas the aliens clearly can, like, reason, like, using a hostage or whatever and stuff like that. Because remember, there is a fucking hostage moment in the fucking movie.
Yeah, when he holds Mel Gibson's son.
And,
I
like,
wouldn't necessarily think that's all that complicated. Not as complicated
as twisting a doorknob?
Yeah, no, the level of
The door
problem
is
solving and
blocked.
logic you need to hold a hostage is far more advanced than the level of logic needed to open a door.
I'm not talking about the door. I'm talking about the interstellar travel Because that's the most common argument that gets brought up against those. Well, if they came from outer space from another planet, they have to be an advanced species. Not necessarily.
Well, the ones we see don't necessarily have to be the ones that did the traveling. They could be like a servitor race. So yeah, leaving that aside, like the servitor race, you can only go off of what we see them do in the movie. And if they do something as complicated as holding a hostage, then they have to have a level of intelligence that at least matches that.
The door is locked.
Was it locked or was he holding
It's locked and barricaded. He
and
trapped
do they have
it
any kind
in
of
the
super
room.
strength?
The pantry
No,
door.
we're not shown them having super strength of any kind. It's a pantry door that's been locked and barricaded. I trapped him.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember that fucking movie that well though. So
and somehow they get into the house off screen. I think we hear glass shatter, so possibly they went in through a window.
It's been too long, and honestly, I don't really give a shit about signs to defend it, so I don't know.
When Ninja and I watched it, I don't remember why we were watching it. We made a joke to ourselves like, "This isn't that scary," and then out of nowhere, produced by Kathleen Kennedy was on screen. We both just went, "Ah!" We just went, "Ah!"
I remember my big thing about that movie was just, what was it, water that they couldn't hack?
Water was their main weakness, and our planet
so
is
they
mainly
came to
water.
this planet that is like
Water,
2/3 covered in this stuff and inhabited and ruled by a species that's 70% made of this stuff.
And like the thing is, and like water is like considered like a barely like a super like it's basically alien blood. Like they're fucking like a melt like instantly. It's like, dude, why did you come here? It's like,
yeah, it's a. Did you just even look at our planet? You can see it with
rains,
your eyes.
Dude. Like, it fucking rains. Like you'd be so fucked. Like
you were. Yeah, hold on. In certain parts of the movie, they're in Central America. Central America rains a lot.
I was gonna say, dude. Like, oh yeah, that's right. They're like in Mexico.
The birthday party.
Was that Central America? Or was that Mexico?
Both.
Mexico doesn't rain as much, but yeah, if they're in fucking Central America, yeah, it's the fucking rainforest. Wait, no,
water is such an abundant resource in our world that it literally falls from the sky in most countries on a regular basis.
The second they got into Earth's orbit, they could have just looked out a window. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Wouldn't the
turn
humidity just fucking murder them too?
Probably.
Humidity is just water. Like you get covered
if
in water when you're
water is as toxic to them as you say, then just being in a humid area would be like inhaling fucking hydrochloric acid for us humans.
Yeah, they'd be so fucked.
So what? So people
God,
are going
science
onto
is so
a
stupid.
farm.
All right, anyway, let's get off this fucking movie. So, Wyatt, what was your point? The fact that the monster could break through the door, and that's what he should be able to beat the guy, or what? What was your point about this movie? Don't bring in. Don't talk about science.
No, I was more talking about how it feels like they figured out. They wrote the beginning scene of like her running from it, and then it breaking down all the shit before they revealed they wrote up the twist essentially.
Well, none of that really necessarily contradicts what we. Well, hang on. There are a couple things actually contradict that. But,
yeah, because we don't. That's why That's why I was bringing them through the scene where it's panning. I wonder if they show the baby's room, because then we could know if the door was physically knocked off the hinges.
Yeah, that would be
It
like.
doesn't matter. It never happened.
That's what I was about to say. It's like we know definitively that the monster has super strength. So any like metric as to when that happens is kind of irrelevant, because when it would have been relevant is when it's fighting the detective, and it didn't have it then. Anything that it does with her or in her house kind of doesn't add or detract from it, because we don't know whether that was Gabriel giving her visions or something that actually physically
She was
happened.
stuck in the. She
It
was
would have had to have been him giving her visions, because they can't coexist in the same place in two separate bodies.
Yeah.
So everything that happened in the house was in her head.
Mm-hmm. Like this isn't like this. This is also like in her head as well. Like whatever she's doing right now is in her head, as opposed to like what's going on with this thing.
Right, because she's actually on the back of his head in a weird mask thing, like when he takes over.
This isn't the perspective of her; it's from the perspective of the mother. So the mother is seeing a physical body right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Is her up to the wall?
Also, is this fan visible from the fucking outside?
It would have to be.
It's not. Whenever we see the outside of the house.
Well, this is the back of the house. What I'm
guess.
saying is we never see the back of the house.
I guess.
But the fan itself, yeah, you'd absolutely be able to see.
Is this
No,
the
wait,
back of the house?
no, it's the front.
Hang
Hold
on.
on. When she
No, wait,
tries
no,
to
yeah, it's
leave,
the back of the
she
house.
said, no, hold
Yeah,
on.
'cause,
When she
like,
tries to
when
leave, she
through,
falls through the.
She walks. Okay, hang on. She walks 2 steps to the front, like in front of her, and then falls through the thing, and she falls into the front room.
And she's
That's my
facing
point.
and she's facing
But
the
the
kitchen.
fan would be on the back side of the house, which is why you don't see it in the shots where you're looking at the front of the house.
No.
This fan has to be on the front side of the house. Because
No.
all right, like I need a
Yes.
fucking pen and paper to actually draw this out.
Dude,
but
the
like,
living room is at the front of the house.
Hold on, let me
Yes.
throw the cover up. I could. It's.
I guess
She falls into the living room, which gives us the Scooby-Doo moment. That makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, but no.
But,
yes,
okay,
that's
but
not the problem we're having.
Okay, hang on. No, wait, Ninja. I think you might like this. Might not be that big of an issue. Never mind. But
it's
No,
not. I don't
it's
know
not.
why it's getting autismy about this.
yeah,
but it's
why?
not.
Don't fucking sidetrack. We got a fucking
Yeah,
video.
dude, don't die on this
Fine.
hill. Trust me,
Yeah,
you're
it's
wrong. That's the
I'm
back of
not-
the house.
No, I'm not fucking wrong here. Now that you're fucking
Yeah,
saying
you,
that.
show me how you're
No.
not wrong, because you're absolutely
Okay, fine.
wrong.
Let me pull up the fucking movie. HBO Max. That's why I threw the cover up.
No, but the thing is, my issue is that the way she falls, it makes it seem like these trusses are going the opposite way. Like the way the room is set up in her, like when we see it, it makes it seem like these are going sideways, whereas the house is shown the truss is coming forward. So basically, the triangle should be pointing towards the front, but when we see the attic shot, the triangle is facing towards the sides.
Yes,
It's a weird continuity thing, but like I mean, fuck, there's a lot of weird fucking continuity things in this fucking movie. So
yeah, I need to find the end. Okay, we're getting there.
because like the living room goes into the foyer. Yeah, see, this is what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
Is the
let me
way
throw up the
this is
copyright
shown, it
screen.
makes it seem like this is the side of the house. The fan is on the side of the house, but like the way it's triangular shaped actually goes towards like the
Yeah, it makes it looks like it's part of the part of the front.
Yeah, but then because like that's the way we see the house from the outside is that it's triangular from the front.
So
the thing is, so here's the thing. Stop. So stop. So what this is showing us is towards the fan is the dining or whatever the fuck that room is they're holding in, and then on the opposite side of this attic, she falls into the living room. So this fan isn't facing the back; it's actually facing the side of the house.
Oh,
See,
okay. She falls sideways. Yeah.
But hang on. Look at the trusses in the top, like left of the screen. See how they're going upwards? That would imply that this is like, you know what I mean, the front of the house. That's not what this is, though. So she falls. Yeah. So there's the front of the house. So can you show me a screen of the actual house?
Yeah. Okay, so this also, I thought she fell more.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like, the way it looks is that
does
fan
not line
is actually on the side of the house, not on the fucking front. But I don't know if that's how the house is designed.
It's not how the house is designed. It's almost
Let me see it. Pull it up.
Let me...
There's a shitload of fucking shots of the house.
Yeah, that's why it just needs a second, because... come on.
This would be so fucking stupid. I can't believe it. You guys had one job. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't...
Oh, okay, hang on. No, it does. Look, so if you look towards the... So you see that, like, weird tower ball thing on the left side? So, okay, never mind. I guess
possibly...
So the fan is essentially right on the opposite side of that ball, basically.
It would either have to be here or...
No, the fan's over there, on the left side.
Oh, so you're saying
right
it'd be on the
left?
left?
It's right there. Because she falls in through the other way. But okay, alright, I guess that makes sense.
But wouldn't... I'm trying to, like, sort of do, like, a sort of, like, Sims X-ray. Wouldn't she have to be right here to fall through the...
Basically.
Like,
Yeah, and the fan would be on the side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, you don't.
And she would
see
have
that
to go
side
through
of
the
house.
entire upstairs. So she'd go through the attic floor, through the ceiling of the front bedroom, through the floor of the front bedroom, and then into the living room.
Either way, it's weird and stupid, but it's not a flaw.
Yeah, fair enough. Let me throw the cover back up and get us back to the video. think we're somewhere around here.
Instead, it just ties her up to the wall. And while the methods of your monster do come down to their drive and objectives, you want to be cautious about limiting their perceivable ominousness. The biggest fears come from the audience's own imagination, so you'd want to allow that
It's also odd that he refers to this as a monster when it's. I would say it's way more sentient than that. Like he clearly has objectives and motivations. You know, he's not like some kind of beast.
Yeah.
But he keeps kind of referring to it like it is. He's like, you have to be careful with how much goal he's trying to accomplish something.
I mean, he could just be saying like because he is comparing it to other horror films. He could be just saying like a monster is like a general thing, so you don't show the monster like kind of deal.
Yeah, I would say still that the monster in like a capitalized TM is still the role and the archetype that the antagonist in this kind of movie plays.
Yeah,
and because this is what we ran into earlier as well, he tries to talk in such generalistic terms while supposedly using specific examples, and that keeps causing confusion for us.
Definitely.
Imagination to run as limitlessly as possible. Because if you're immediately humanizing your supernatural monster by having them not hurt people and instead neatly tie them up and talk to them while dressing up in a visible widescreen shot, you're not really making things easier on yourself.
See, he literally says it's a problem that he's being humanized. He is referring to him like he's a fucking monster and not a person.
Well, no, he's saying that the humanization makes it not as scary, and it's like that's.
I don't necessarily think that's inherently true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not true because, like,
in this particular case, I would say it is kind of true because of the way it was introduced to us. You get all these shots of like it's this borderline paranormal fucking monster shadow thing, and then we see it as like a normal. Oh, it's human-esque. Okay, that makes it less alien, but it introduces us to this threat almost from scratch, and we're nearly halfway in the movie. That would be my criticism, because you've recontextualized what this is. Because if you introduce like Freddy Krueger, we go through that movie, we get no backstory on who or what he is, we just have like this dream thing, and then it turns out that all of this time those weren't actually dreams, you were being drugged and kidnapped and put into like torture rooms, and this is just an actual physical human person. That in your head completely shifts around what kind of threat you're dealing with. And then in this movie, they do that where they introduce it as a monster, then they humanize it, and then they make it a monster again. And that in and of itself makes it more confusing than scary, because we don't know what it is dealing with, and not in a mystery, the fear of the unknown makes it worse kind of way, more in a I don't actually know how to follow this movie kind of way, because you humanized it only to then give it super strength, which, because you've just humanized it, make that super strength look really tismy. So now I have more questions than fear.
To build on this,
okay,
the shadowy creature is also very unsuccessfully kept in.
It's like because like he's like, oh, you'll do nothing. It's like, except for kidnap you. That's pretty fucking horrible. Like,
yeah, again, he know how we complimented his editing at the start of this video.
Yeah, it's
here's his problem. It's not that he's bad at it. He's actually quite good at editing, and he's good at making like editing jokes and things. But he does it way too fucking much.
Well, no, he's just bad at making points with it.
Well, also that I was talking more specifically about the edits.
Yeah.
Because he can get good jokes in there, and he can make jokes that are very on the nose. But it's like every idea he has, he puts it in the video, and you don't need to do that.
Well,
yeah,
but
when
the
there are
thing
just
is,
some
he's doing
jokes
it,
that.
well, he's doing it to reinforce his point, but his point sucks. So it's like, yeah, then that makes the editing suck, though.
Yeah, and that example doesn't line up to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she's actually very afraid of him in that moment.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because in her head, whether he's human or monster is irrelevant. She's just been kidnapped. That
She's been
in and of
kidnapped by
itself is
something.
scary
Yeah, fuck
enough.
that.
Shadows. Like 30 minutes in, we're in this attic that looks so much like Madison's house that it's very difficult not to make the connection.
It does not look like Madison's
Bullshit.
It does not look
Yeah,
like
no, fuck
that
off.
is literally
No
the
way.
point. It doesn't
The
look
industrial fan is put in there specifically to misdirect you away from that. And it just ends up making the fan make no sense.
Yeah, it's clearly there. It's just a fucking red hair.
And through that, we can also connect the creature to Madison herself. That if it
Hold on, I'm gonna rewind that.
And through that, we can also connect the creature to Madison herself. That if it's not her, which it probably is because they look the same and it's the most...
What do you mean they look the same?
I mean, I guess they're both tall, have black hair, like, but they definitely don't look the same. Like we see the fucking face later. They don't have the same face, and that's later revealed because it's the back of her face. But that's not. It's dumb.
And also in terms of bodily structure, the goddamn thing is just reversed human.
Cliche trope for a movie like this, at least they're somehow linked. And that's just another reason not to fear for her safety. Because
Well, I don't follow that point.
Well, let's fucking try that again. Like, through his entire through line.
we can also connect the creature to Madison herself. That if it's not her, which it probably is because they look the same and it's the most cliche trope for a movie like this, at least they're somehow linked. And that's just another reason not to fear for her safety. Because if you allow...
Yeah, so he's saying don't fear for her safety. Wait, hold up, what? No,
he's saying that the fact that they are the same body, they're the same physical entity, is something that he was able to predict very early on, and that spoiled some of his investment because it meant he knew he never had to worry about her getting hurt.
Yeah, but
that wasn't her motivation in the
pretty
movie.
sure
her motivation was like that this is
hang on.
hurting
I'm
other
pretty
people.
sure at the beginning of that sentence, though, he was saying, let's assume that it's not the case. Did he say that?
Do you want me to rewind it and we can try
yeah,
again?
Can you? I'm gonna really fucking pay attention to that. But yeah, please do that.
difficult not to make the connection. And through that, we can also connect the creature to Madison herself. That if it's not her, which it probably is because they look the same and it's the most cliche trope for a movie like this, at least they're somehow linked. And that's just another reason not to fear for her safety.
So yeah, he did say it's not her, but it's obviously it is. Yeah, that didn't make any fucking sense.
How do you word salad within your own word salad?
Like I said, maybe his English isn't that great. Who knows? His writing's not that good. Let's just attribute it to that. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's like his English is fine. It's the things he's saying that are stupid.
He doesn't know how to string the words together.
Allow the audience to take security in being able to know and anticipate bad things 40 minutes before they happen, and it's a horror movie where uncertainty equals fear, you might be in trouble.
I told you.
Uncertainty equals fear? I don't know that that's necessarily true either.
It's definitely not.
It
I mean,
can
there's
be,
certainly
but there are
there's certainly
many
the
horror movies where the certainty is the horror.
Yeah, like the fear of the unknown, which is sort of like base level like horror feeling, but I don't know. It just doesn't line up here.
Or fucking Jaws, there's nothing uncertain about anything that's happening in that movie.
Yeah,
it's the fact that we know exactly what it is that makes it so horrifying.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, it's a big fucking shark.
It's big shark. Wow, look at that. I want that movie.
Like, well, now that I know what it is, it's not scary.
I want that movie so bad.
You just want Yarp to cover Big Shark.
Yes, but I want the movie to come
Are
out.
we not done?
We are.
I don't mind us covering fucking Big Shark.
Because I want to go. Wow, look at that! As he points to the fucking water somehow flooding the streets.
God, I hate that fucking
I
movie.
can't wait. I want it. Please, Tommy. Please.
No, the coof.
I beg you.
From day one.
The opposite ended
Oh yeah, hold on. Fake Wanda Sykes basically just went, she did it, sucks on lollipop, when she barely has any fucking, like, evidence. She's like, motive,
yeah.
abusive husband.
I mean, she's correct, but like, again, she has a bit of the Filmento problem. So she turned out to be right, but her reasoning, not great.
Yeah, all right. I'm not defending the movie. Fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, there you go.
That's more like it.
You
That's
know
what
where
we
you're...
love to say, a good broken spirit.
You turned them against me!
You have done that yourself!
this is that the creature's scary abilities are much too vaguely defined. On some occasions, it can teleport
Yes, he's about to bring up the inconsistency of this creature's powers.
and move
Hey, my favorite thing.
around like a ghost, whereas in other cases, it's more like just a strong guy. So it gets difficult to feel fear when the reason to fear keeps changing depending on the situation. Uncertainty is useful, but confusion is not. The visual
Hey,
Yeah,
a point we actually fully agree on, I
Ace.
think. That's,
There you go.
yeah,
That's a good point.
fucking nailed it.
We don't know this creature's fucking powers.
We
James
have no idea of what the actual threat posed by this thing is because it completely changes depending on what way it wants to be monstrous in a given scene.
Yeah, is it stereotypical slasher where it basically has teleportation powers, or is it just a big hulking guy?
and inhuman strength are
Yeah,
justified.
like it's weird. It's the fucking psycho from Scream during the detective scene, but then it's a fucking like super monster during the fight with all of the police. So it's like, huh. Also, like, yeah, like I have to keep bringing up the teleportation thing because it's like it clearly teleports in a couple different things. That's not indicative of Madison.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
like
just not
if it
teleporting
teleported-
in the movie,
Yeah, if it-
it's
if it-
teleporting in, like, the scene.
Yeah, if it teleported because Madison was seeing it, then I could write that off. However, it teleports when it's dealing with the doctor.
and teleports when it's dealing with the husband.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, from the TV.
Fuck, it does teleport the fucking. Ah man, it's just so.
It teleports a shit ton, actually.
No, it
teleports
just
to turn.
moved really stealthily backwards.
It did the Spider-Man 3 James Franco thing.
Yep.
Where he like winks and then
Oh,
he just
hold
ducks
on.
behind the thing and the black guy turns around and looks at him. Like,
Yes,
what the
I
fuck?
was about to bring that up. It's
Why
like in
does
Spider-Man
fucking
3, you
weirdo
can
do
see
that?
the guy behind him just look at James Franco. Like, what the fuck?
What are you doing down there, bro? Like, he literally looks like-
He's just laying on the floor.
With the great twist of there being two people in one, but the electricity control, for example, seems like something the movie pulls out of its ass just to look cool.
Well, no, it's oddly established, but only half-assed. Like in the beginning.
It's established, but the only thing they do it for is aesthetic reasons.
Yeah.
It's like he gets no like tactical benefit really.
Yeah, other than
At least
killing
not
the
that we see, because outside he flickers like the lamppost so that he can disappear like in between flickers, but
the
he
only
doesn't just turn
time-
off so that he can stalk in privacy.
The only time like it's ever like used in a way that isn't for the lights is the pacemaker.
Yeah. Well, and to talk. It's the way
Oh,
Gabriel
yeah.
talks without having
Yeah, I
to
remember, yeah, he has to
have a
fucking-
voice come out the back of her head like Mr. Quill.
He calls from an unknown number.
Yeah, the fucking Voldemort thing from the Harry Potter movie.
Oh yeah. just looks at the detective. Just give me the stone.
Not only does it have no meaningful impact on the story, except a negative one, it's also never explained beyond just tossing out the magic word.
Ask her what she used to call me.
The devil.
Oh, well, isn't that convenient?
Which leads us
Okay.
I mean, he's right. They do absolutely fucking nothing with the devil other than use it as like
It's
a
evil.
mystery box in which the source of the powers comes. It's like we don't know what the fuck is going on, so it's like, ooh, maybe it's something supernatural. It's like, okay, but it's not though. It's a conjoined twin. Yeah, but a spooky conjoined twin. So,
It's a
Okay.
control the devil.
Oh.
Yeah,
To the
it's a conjoined twin with devil powers.
Oh, rats.
It's literally Devil Man and Crybaby.
monster's oppression also being shared way too much. Around the midpoint, for example, we finally get the turn of the woman.
That will never not be funny. Like, I just see it in my. I'm
I
just
can't
like.
help but like smile. I'm like,
Yeah, I was about to take a bite of my sandwich, and it's just like I was like, I'm about to laugh, so I better set this down so I don't start choking.
Falling from Madison's attic, which then makes the cops and audience think that maybe it was her all along.
Madison's sus.
But when she's then getting grilled by the cops in the scene after, the monster just hits them up on the phone to say otherwise.
And I called it when this scene happened that she was doing that. Because, like, if the thing can control the devices, it's not actually talking. It's making the phone make those noises. And it's able to make the same voice out of every device.
Weird.
Yeah.
Why was your stuff in her attic? You trying to incriminate her?
And it's like, how are you gonna play a rendition of
Oh, he's gonna talk about the music.
Where's My Mind to imply the hero's insanity and then 3 minutes later prove in front of everyone for free that she's not insane? Almost everybody in here is a...
Does it really prove that?
Well, yeah, kind of. At the very least, it establishes firmly that mentally, at least, they are different entities. And they don't necessarily have each other's best interest at heart. So this idea that she's like living this double life, it gets thrown out the window because what cop would ever suspect that you've got a tumor in the back of your head that's actually a super powered backwards man? That's not a logical conclusion for them to reach.
Yeah.
Not a great plan.
Not a great plan.
allowed to help and believe the hero, whereas ideally you'd want to restrict the audience's ability to take comfort in other people. Because the less people there are to carry the monster's oppression, the heavier it will weigh and the more helpless we will
Not
feel.
necessarily. You also have this double-edged sword of like, yes, you've got other people to share the burden, but the more people you bring into a situation, the more people you put at risk of like the monster killing them. That's like the dilemma that every protagonist in a horror movie faces.
Yeah. The more people you bring in, the more people in danger.
Yeah, it's like if I get my fucking parents to help me hunt down this werewolf, I might lose my parents. So I'm going to step up because I'm the protagonist and like the werewolf represents like my repressed sexuality or some bullshit and I'm going to go stab it in the face.
Or if, you know, you like adopt an alien like super being and, you know, try to call the cops, it's like, man, you're just going to get more people killed.
Trying to solve it.
You can't keep lying like this, Maddie. There's no Gabriel.
Go to your room. Madison, go to your room right now.
You trying to incriminate her?
I'm gonna pause for copyrightisms. How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Upset with Mr. Mento here.
And he started off so well.
So well. I was so down. I was like, yay, we're going to like breeze through this video. It's going to be no problem because we agree with everything he says. And
well, that's why I was just like,
we're subverted.
That's why I was just like, shit, we might need a video for Brightburn just because
no,
it's like, because I was really worried we were going to breeze right through this.
Brightburn is going to be quick and easy.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Brightburn? What's that?
Never heard of this movie you're speaking
It's
of.
on the thumbnail. And it's in the title.
Damn it. I was trying to
That's you ruining things. Stop doing
No,
that.
fuck. I was trying to be vague and shit about the fucking movie. Well, I've been like brought it up like 3 different times during our conversation.
I love if you did that for all the episodes where you make them all deliberately vague about what we cover. So if I want to go back to something, I literally have no idea what episode anything is in.
That'd be really weird.
Yes, because anything we do is normal.
Yes, we are. We truly are the Brightburn.
Oh no. What are we? Some
There's
kind of
actually
Suicide Squad?
there's a podcast I listen to that he does that with his titles. He'll name them all something that sounds like really funny and cool, but it's incredibly unhelpful if you ever want to go to a specific episode.
Yeah, the super best friends in Castle Super Beast did that shit too. It's like, man, what was that conversation about 100 Wilds? It's like, oh, it's in like Aryan DNA. Wait, what?
That bothers me
Yeah,
so
pretty
much.
much. It was like, oh yeah, what's the one where he goes on like this whole thing about like how the fall of disco is what led to like a bunch of like cultural revolutions like this? Yeah, it's called Michael Collins' Soggy Biscuit.
That's proper.
Obviously.
Clearly.
Meanwhile, I want to find a thing where somebody's talking about Last of Us. Oh, EFAP 103.
The Air Powell Salmon Gravy, where he talks about the mental health crisis in Ireland. It's like, oh,
God damn
This guy sounds great. Sounds like my kind of guy.
It's the best one.
Even though I was nesting in her home.
And obviously none of this matters anyway, because in the third act the monster turns into a goofy John Wick from Tenet, which also is
Yeah, the police fight.
Yeah, goofy John Wick.
That's good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Fuck you. How dare you make me like you now?
Yeah, this police, like, the second this police scene happened, we were all just like, what fucking movie are we watching?
Dude, I told you that fucking last act is bonkers, dude.
Dude, it's you didn't tell us though. Like, bonkers is like mild.
I said that shit insane.
Sufficiently prepared us for how fucking far off the wall that shit goes. Full Matrix sequence with backwards super strength man wielding a trophy.
You wouldn't have believed me if I had told you. You've been like, what?
You're fucking making that up.
It's just like how Ninja told me.
I understand the words that you're saying, but not in the
random words and put them in order. That's not a synopsis of the movie. Oh my god, it's the movie.
Oh my god.
No, it's like when Ninja was telling me what happened in episode 3 of Visions. I'm like, I don't believe you. No way would they've used the Holdo maneuver again.
And made it worse.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. They made it worse.
Yeah, because it's a drive-by.
Survived it. How did he survive it? Sorry. Fuck!
You can't warn anyone about this level of stupid, because their brain just, like, you could try to warn them to try to save their sanity. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, if I had told you guys that, you guys would.
Look at this guy that just sees his friend's arm getting cut off.
I would have turned into fucking Palpatine in the fucking office. No! No!
No, Maxwell just turned into Palpatine and just 720 corkscrewed away from the conversation. Dude.
You hear the window shut down noise, like doo 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 doo. That's your brain.
Yeah, Max, you just now officially, and yeah, I now need to Photoshop your face over Palpatine when he makes the noise, how he leaves Discord calls.
Put Sans in the hoodie, boom, done.
Yeah, it's treason then. Oh, doo-doo. Oh, Max on the call.
I fucking somehow hack the goddamn thing and make it like so anytime I leave a call, that's what the noise it makes.
Yeah, like a second before it happens.
The fact that a lot of it is anchored in the monster's POV as if it's the hero. Whereas for Scary Movie, you'd want to borrow more from the fantastic prologue of A Quiet Place Part 2, which does the same thing.
He's making yet another argument which is built on the premise that the premise of this movie doesn't lend itself to a horror. Having the killer and the protagonist be the same thing means that it's inherently going to fail as a horror, and I don't know that that's true.
Yeah, because we see it in a different movie, don't we?
I mean, the twist of like, oh my god, the killer was me this whole time is like, yeah, we've seen that before.
Also, doesn't Quiet Place inherently have a bunch of flaws? Because I remember when he was talking about the Tomorrow War.
It doesn't matter about the flaws. He's just talking about this specific scene.
Okay.
He's saying that like this is all coming from this fucking like perspective of the Tisms.
Okay.
point of view also maintains a really effective sense of dread. Now obviously this too is awesome and super well made, but it doesn't really make people...
No, I don't know if I'd call this action sequence well made, because fuck, it's just so much shit going on.
Yeah, it's like people are
People
missing with point blank
stupid.
shotgun shells, dude. Like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one.
I mean, people are running at her with guns in hand just so that she can rapidly disassemble them.
Yeah, so it's definitely not like it's fucking Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad.
Also, the amount of people who miss. Jesus Christ. Everybody in the station is opening fire at her, and nobody lands a single shot.
And it's not like she's like agenting...
Does the commissioner lady fucking like nail a shot? Because she gets the drop on her.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, the only time she gets shot is at the very end in the hospital room with the mother.
Yeah.
Fear as much as it just makes them smile. And so, if you don't specifically want the audience to view your monster as a goofy parkour enthusiast who moves like an idiot and struggles to take care of one human detective, then don't present it as such.
Good point.
I mean, no one better than that sentence.
Based.
Yeah. It's like, if you don't want the monster of your movie to end up being a joke, don't make it funny. It's like, this should not be a hot take.
Yeah.
The third core horror issue here is that this movie's world and scary things in it are often so nonsensical that it's impossible to take them seriously.
Yeah. The fucking hospital.
Hold on. I need a screenshot of this actually.
That is actually like the perfect. This is the perfect image of that. Yeah.
This is a screensaver.
I'm gonna give you bonus props just for making this image. It is glorious. I love it.
I will post it in the chat. Slur, I dare you to make this your not your screensaver, your desktop wallpaper. Just this.
That's not high def enough for me.
Oh. Let me post it in a second.
I mean, it almost kind of looks like one of those really stupid car ads where they like take pictures of the car on the edge of a cliff, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it really does.
Honestly, it looks like that fucking song where like this town isn't big enough for both of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the 2018 Hyundai Elantra, and then just drive up the clip.
Are you serious? Damn it, Filmento!
It has four-wheel drive.
You son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch! You bitch of a son!
What was that? Sam Worthington for fucking Black Ops. You son of a bitch! Where his Australian kicks back in for a second.
Seriously, many locations, for example, like I mentioned, are pretty dumb. Whether it's a suburban attic with a giant industrial fan, or a deserted tunnel with carriages and smoke machines, or...
Yeah, why are there smoke machines?
Like, the locations in this movie do not match the style of the rest of the movie. They look like an animated Batman episode.
Including Arkham fucking Asylum.
Yeah, that is Arkham
Literally,
on
literally
steroids.
Arkham,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Literally
it looks
Arkham.
ridiculous.
Or a scary...
It looks like an individual, like, 12 acres of the planet just got turned into the Warhammer world.
Transylvanian
Yeah, that's only a chunk of a fortress monastery.
medical castle on a cliff.
The fucking clouds are behind it, man!
And then
Fuck, it looks so evil!
The only thing that thing is missing is, like, its own fucking storm cloud that's got lightning.
Yeah, dude,
and shit.
the fucking lightning bolt as, like, it revealed. Like, cracks across the sky, like, as she, like, turns the corner.
Yeah, the swirling vortex of clouds.
We also have
like from
stairs
fucking
which
Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, no, literally that. That's exactly what. That's the vibe.
are often quite idiotic because they're not justified within the film. A lot of the scary moments are...
Wait, hold on. I got so caught up in the meme. I need to hear that again.
Yeah, let him say it.
deserted tunnel with carriages and smoke machines, or a scary Transylvanian medical castle on a cliff. Stupid! And then we also have the scares, which are often quite idiotic because they're not justified within the film. A lot of the
scares aren't justified within the film?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he means by that.
I'm getting nothing. Like, I can't, like, I'm trying to dissect it and interpret it, and what slides out is just absolute nothingness.
scary moments are essentially built on the monster doing pranks like playing with electronics and opening fridges and blasting the TV, which can initially seem frightening because...
Yeah, I know what the point is he's making. He's going for what I was talking about earlier, where you have to bear in mind that this monster existed before it did the jump scare thing, and it exists after. Which means, like, what was it doing? Where was it going? Why are we seeing this? Why is this happening?
Why are we still here?
Just
to suffer. So yeah, if that's the point he's making, then I think I agree. Why did it across her? It's like, that's not part of how this works.
I'm just walking.
The whole premise of how it works is that, like, she sees what it wants her to see, but, like, she's getting little hints that it's not real before Gabriel reveals, like, forces her to see through his eyes, or
come on, Filmento.
Be in the room.
Have some balls. You've got 5 minutes left. Show the ring. Show the because she's just walking. She's walking down with the laundry basket, and she sees it, and it just goes. It runs past her.
Just in terms of, like, in the movie, the explanation for how this all works, that makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't. Gabriel's just fucking with her at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But a big reason for why that fright quickly fades is because the more we see the monster just standing ominously in the background, the more we realize that there's no reason for it to be happening.
What? Oh,
Wait.
okay, hang on. I think I get what he's saying.
So he's saying that what the monster did was fundamentally stupid outside of, like...
Yeah, like, the monster is literally standing around and woo, wiggity boogity boogity.
Yeah, it's just
us.
creeping in the corners watching
Like
him rather than doing the obvious thing of just waiting for him to be asleep before it comes in at all.
Yeah, like, it's doing it literally for us.
Yeah, it's like it knows it's in a horror movie.
Yeah, it knows it's being observed.
Looking for the camera.
It's Outer Wilds.
Like, if the monster in the beginning is going to kill the husband instantly without any pain, why doesn't it just do it while he sleeps? What's the point of having him first cluelessly walk around a bit? Oh right.
I mean,
first pose scurry.
I was gonna say to add spooky-tisms, I guess.
Yeah, but why? But like, why would you be spooky-tisms when he can't see you?
Yeah.
Because it's a movie.
Oh my dude, you just got pranked!
And so unless that's what you want, then better to take a page from something like The Conjuring, where the scares are logically justified.
I've never seen The Conjuring. Has anyone else?
I haven't seen it. Ninja, you're the horror man.
Yeah, you're our horror expert. Well,
The Conjuring is pretty bad. It's a lot of jump scares. It relies heavily.
Oh man.
I love it.
But I think it's interesting that he brings up an example also by James Wan.
Oh no.
It's like, dude, clearly the guy knows what he's fucking doing.
So yeah, more evidence to this being a parody.
I mean, it kind of feels that way. It's heading in the direction for sure. Because
yeah, this is just
it's not an unreasonable conclusion to reach. I just don't think we have anything definitive to go on. That's my whole thing about it.
We get James Wan in an interview room. So
James,
just be honest.
Come on, Yarp. We'll have a conversation.
James Wan, come on, just tell
we
us.
Have questions.
We know you're in the chat. Just like hop in.
James Wan just
wouldn't that be
poggers
fucking
in the
wild?
chat.
Like,
just pop in, my man.
Just pop in. You know where we are.
Tell me, Mr. Wong, how many playlists on Pornhub do you have with twins in them?
God damn it!
How many breads have you eaten, Mr. Wong?
Brings us to the three
What are you
stages of
doing?
demonic.
Step the back of my own head.
Oh god, we thought
there's legit a fucking washer moment too.
Yeah, we were thought we were
Oh,
gonna get
dude,
stuck.
this
Like,
has to be a parody. Come on.
what are you doing, Step Demon?
This has to be.
What are you doing, Step, at the back of my
really,
head?
really want it to be.
Like it has to be.
It's because we're trying to save our sanity here. If this
It's
was
Massacre.
if this was if like James Wan answers like, no, this is not a parody. This is just a legit horror movie. We'd be like, oh, then you failed.
Can you imagine if somebody actually did that and it's like, so was this a parody? And he just looks at them like kind of offended and hurt. It's like, why would you think it's a parody? It's like, oh come on, there's no way you made something this bad on purpose. He's like, you think it's bad?
What?
It is bad.
Damn it, you hurt James Wan's feelings.
But do you remember? But you didn't like the part where he threw the chair.
I laughed my
we
ass
practiced
off.
for a whole day to get that shot.
That was like the 5th take, man. That took a lot of fucking film.
Yeah,
It was
do you
all
have
in one
any
shot.
idea how many cheers to the back that guy took before we got the one that worked?
The implication you just kept throwing chairs like chaos. Fuck! Alright, you didn't take it hard enough. Alright, let's do it again.
No, please don't.
Dude, doesn't have to be a fucking wooden chair. This shit hurts. Like,
Increase the strength of the chair. Make it oak.
like mahogany.
There's a
Tungsten.
Yeah, bit of chair, just tungsten chair.
Yeah, we had to use tungsten prop chairs because the wooden ones kept breaking between takes.
It just fucking shatters his spine.
That's why they got knocked over so hard, man. You tell me a flimsy wooden chair is going to take out
these hardened detectives.
Yeah,
Who just their shit
this
kicked in.
ladies' man, Kakoa Shaw.
Kakoa Shaw.
A solid oak
You
chair
wish.
being thrown right at my back. I don't know. I think I'd go fucking down.
Yeah, you're not built with the same stuff that Kakoa Shaw is built on.
And not Wanda Sykes. They're built different.
They're built different. They're literally built different.
Infestation, oppression, and possession. Which brings us to the stage of demonic activity.
And then
What?
He was making a point about how fucking
In certain edits for the sake of certain edits. This is what I meant when you don't have to use every idea on your board.
Yeah. Some things you can just drop. With Ninja's video, we were supposed to actually have a clip from pitch meeting, but it didn't flow.
there's major plot beats which follow no logic. We have the detective wanting to age up this one patient photo he found at a murder scene, not because he thinks it looks familiar or anything, but just because the plot demands it.
How old you need? 30 years.
Which then of course brings a 100% accurate result, even though the photo girl's face is barely visible.
She was the doctor's patient.
Wait, barely? What do you mean barely visible?
Well, her like fucking the bangs are covering like part of her forehead, but no, like the absurdity is the fact that it's a fucking goddamn photo of the fucking chick. It's like, dude.
Yeah, no flaws whatsoever.
No, yep. Isn't that good?
He didn't. Yeah, this sketch artist didn't like accidentally over exaggerate like the nose or something.
Like
It's,
he didn't get anything wrong. It's perfectly the chick.
Made her ears
In fact,
too big or
he even
something.
brings that up. He's like, "You brought the chick in, huh?" Like he has a fucking attitude. What a fucking duck.
Isn't that
Fucking artist.
convenient?
We have the sister going to the abandoned medical facility to find sensitive patient documents that were not only left there, but also still remain there after 3 decades.
Convenient.
We have jailed women attacking Madison.
Oh my god, the fucking jail. Fucking.
Oh god, this whole scene.
Hang on, what's he gonna say? I want to
incredibly
hear what he's
fucking
saying. Yeah, it was bad. It was terrible.
Fucking Afro lady. It got me every fucking time. It's like
She looks like she's in the wrong fucking movie.
Yeah,
she
she
looks like she
does.
should be in like The Get Down or Saturday Fever.
James Wan
Why
needed
is she
extras.
dressed like it's still
Why are
1969?
you dressed like that? Why
James
is-
Wan
why are you like
needed extras, and so while at the Warner lot, he was like, "I need you guys to be in my movie. I don't care whatever you're wearing. Get in here." And so
Or
like
he
I said,
just
I
went,
actually-
this is how black women dress.
And it's like I kind of praised it because like other than her, like everybody else looks like real people.
somebody that would be in that type of jail, yeah.
Yeah, they all look fucking dirty, disgusting, ugly, and shitty. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, Stop talking to the random homeless people who were outside Warner Brothers Studios that day like that.
My bad.
Oh no.
Wait, homeless people in LA? That never happened.
No other reason than because she doesn't look like she lives in the 80s.
Get lost on the way to the country club.
Even though she does look much more messed up than a lot of other women there.
Hey, you don't know that
We
they
have the
didn't go
police.
through the same treatment.
You don't know that.
Yeah, this is just the peck, like, oh, a new person in. Get up, person we were just kicking in your ass. Time to kick this person's ass.
He's finding a murder scene exactly like Madison somehow knew to describe it and then just let her go instead of checking her house with plausible cause or even placing her under surveillance. Overall, very often...
But yeah, this is what I said during the movie as well.
Yeah.
It's like, if she turns out to be right, they are not letting her out of their fucking sight. Ever.
Wait, there's an Among Us fighting game?
What?
That's a segue.
Among Us Arena?
I'm gonna hit the button.
Plot stuff happens just because it needs...
Oh, fuck's sake. Needed the bonk sound effect with the fucking
Sorry.
husband.
There's legit a fucking 2D fighting game fucking Among Us.
I hate it.
It's so hilarious.
Burn it with fucking fire, please.
Well, hang on. It has to be if it's a good fighting game. Anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to segue that away. I just happened to see that on my fucking phone.
to happen, which in cases like this doesn't make it easy to follow without laughing.
When Derek smashed Madison's head against the wall, it woke Gabriel up.
We need to stop getting pregnant.
We laughed. We fucking laughed when we realized, like, oh shit, that was the inciting incident.
Yeah. Stop getting pregnant, idiot.
Bonk.
He smashed the back of her head.
Was he the fucking... Yeah, he's the fucking scout from TF2. Bonk.
Bonk. Found my ball.
Sydney, that's it.
Found my ball.
That makes no sense.
Convenient.
And then, of course, we have the classic terrible scary movie nonsense of
Okay, hang on. Go back. Let me hear that.
Smashed Madison's head against the wall, it woke Gabriel up.
We need to stop getting pregnant. Jeez. Sydney, that's it.
Convenient.
And then, of course, we have the
That's really good.
Yeah.
the classic terrible scary movie nonsense of characters acting irrationally just for the sake of it. There's a scare scene early on where the attic woman starts hearing scary footsteps in the dark and runs away, only to then stop to turn on the lights as if that will somehow defeat her pursuer. Like, not only does she act like...
Yeah, the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, why didn't you just fucking run?
Why'd you keep running? I thought she was reaching for a gun. Why does nobody have a gun?
It's Seattle. Fucking...
Oh god, it's Portland.
Well, yes, but also clearly as evidenced by scene.
Dude, you broke up halfway through.
Oh, god damn it. I said clearly in the police station scene, we see that
Guns are fucking useless.
Yeah.
They do nothing.
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
they have a field. She's a fucking bullet bender.
Yeah,
she took lessons from Toph and just started fucking
There's
bending.
clearly
the
somebody
away.
pointing a shotgun in her general direction. Shouldn't fucking miss.
Yeah, not Wanda Sykes grabs a shotgun in the middle of the fucking
And points
scene.
directly at her, and like the fucking bullets like hit like other things. It's
A
like,
desk.
Oh.
It hits
a
a fucking
desk,
desk.
a wall, and it's like,
If she's in a movie, it's not even the right movie. Then there's the absolute genius sequence with the detective where he figures out the next target of the killer and goes over there completely alone. Like earlier in the day he was bringing 2 extra cops for no real emergency, but now that he knows where the next murder will...
Yeah, we made
God
fun of
damn.
this a lot. We
fucking based.
We
Yeah,
were saying like,
fundamentally, you're right.
guy, bring backup.
Call your phone.
Oh,
Call backup. Call somebody. Call
Every
anybody.
time-
Call the Ghostbusters. Do something. Use
I
your
get
fucking
it.
phone.
I say bring the fucking long-haired guy that drew the picture. There, he just handed it to you. It's like, hey, come with. You're a cop, kind of.
Well, but the thing, like, not even that. Just fucking because he just Fimento brought up a really good point. He literally brings 2 patrolmen with him. There's
Yeah,
fucking other
on
cops.
the drive. Yeah,
Like-
on the drive there, he could have just fucking called for backup.
Like, please just
Hey.
act like you're trying to survive.
Act like a fucking
Guys,
cop.
this is 2021. The Seattle
Hell yeah, they're
major
Oh, yeah.
cutbacks.
Shit,
They-
yeah,
I was
they're
gonna
they-
say,
funded.
don't you
No!
understand? Don't you understand? He can't even have a gun anymore. He shouldn't have had that.
They spent all their money on their tall ceilings, okay?
Tall ceilings, yeah. We had to make budget cuts.
The tall ceilings and also not burning the place down.
Will be he brings nobody. Okay. And if that was enough, he then gets attacked by the monster and chases after it still without calling anybody about it. Like,
yeah, we had this like during this entire chase. We were like, all right, slow down, call for backup. You may lose the person, but at least you won't you don't risk being alone against an opponent that has like a home field advantage for most of that fucking chase.
Yeah. It's like, it's ridiculously irresponsible to not call him back up, especially when we have the perpetrator.
Especially when going through like tiny openings like that, like the window he
Man,
just went
it's
through.
so weird. In like a different movie, we see more competent cops.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Damn it. And you know what? That monster also had the fucking ability to fuck with electronics, so that was the explanation why it wasn't working. God damn it. It's almost like it's fucking set up to Anyway, this movie sucks dick. I hate this movie, but you should watch it.
I think the only when he goes through the window, it's like you're not gonna call for backup. This could very clearly be used as a trap because this is unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, like hell, and like he does something like really fucking clever with the fucking chase. Like the way he falls into that dumpster is actually pretty like. It's like, oh, that's like he has like some kind of parkour knowledge or something because he knows like that wouldn't like hurt that bad. But it's like fucking call your phone.
Yeah.
Let's just
you did something cool. Now do something else amazing.
Follow the superhuman murderer into this dark tunnel and tell about it later. It'll be fine.
Oh, I gotta be out of my mind.
And the reason stuff like this is so harmful to the fear factor is because now that this tunnel sequence is built on something so illogically nonsensical, it's very difficult to feel anything other than that it's just ridiculously stupid. Your horror movie can have supernatural elements, but if it takes place in the real world, it still otherwise has to operate according to real world rules. What?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
100% fair.
You can have supernatural elements as long as they're entirely consistent, but you have to bear in mind that our base assumption before you introduce a supernatural element is going to be that everything is the same.
Yeah.
So you have to establish when things vary from that. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very strange. And it's going to lead to problems.
One abnormality can suddenly turn the entire thing into nonsense.
Why am I calling the police?
I hated that line. When she's like, why am I calling the police? Like, 911 doesn't just mean the cops. It just is emergency services.
Yeah, we're assuming, like, well, because doesn't 911... I'm pretty sure... I'd have to talk to my buddy Chad.
No,
I'm pretty sure when you call a dispatcher, it's from the fucking, like, police station. So, there's a good chance the dispatcher's fucking dead. But, like I said, I'd have to actually fucking double-check and ask. In fact,
I'm pretty sure...
I'm a messenger right now.
No, I don't think... from last I remember... Yeah,
I'm literally going to ask a cop. So.
As well ask, just because, might as well get someone who actually knows. But
yeah.
I have it in my head for some reason that a dispatch office is a separate thing.
It can be, but also it just massively depends on the city. Like my old hometown, the dispatch was in a like somewhat adjacent building from the police station. I'm pretty sure because this was years ago when I watched like the Last Week Tonight over police dispatchers. I don't think they're actual cops. They're like a separate deal.
But yeah, I know the dispatch people themselves, it's a separate profession. You're not getting nurses or fire people or officers to sit on the phones all day. That it's a job in and of itself.
I'm more just thinking. I'm just more thinking about the comment of like they might probably be dead when it's like unless they were directly in Gabriel's way, I don't see how.
Well, the thing is, this also is a problem with the actual movie, is that there are gunshots happening inside of a building, like, and these guys in the bullpen don't fucking react until the fucking guy bursts through the fucking door. But just like I said, I just messaged my cop friend and see what she says.
All right.
Why am I calling the police? Why am I calling the police?
Because in the city of Seattle there are more than 20 police officers.
Unless, of course.
Okay.
Well, I don't
I
know.
mean,
With
yeah,
the-
this is
with
not
the-
the only police station in the world.
I don't know. With the budget cuts.
Oh no. No, we've got nothing but what's it? Oh, the rest of the office is nothing but social workers.
No.
There is a bit of thing though, like it's like, oh, because like he just said only in Seattle. Wait, hang on. Is Seattle, Washington? Seattle's I don't know why I just
Yeah,
brain
Seattle,
farted
Seattle,
city.
Washington.
City. Okay, yeah. I mean, there might be. I don't really know. It's also a fucking weird thing. I'm not exactly sure if there is. Because like
in the Seattle
area?
area?
The nearest one away from like in Jax, I think is in like McClenny, which is an hour away. So if you would have called the dispatch, like if you would have called the cops there, like it would have taken an hour to get to your fucking situation.
Huh.
So if everybody in this thing is dead, oh, the internet go out?
No. I'm
Well, we're watching it struggle to buffer, so I don't know what's happening.
No, guys. Can you just not hear me or something?
Yeah, we can hear you.
But the thing
no,
is
it's just
that-
buffering because I just hit play and pause too fast, and so it's
okay.
trying to think. Like,
gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I were to just let me see if I can replicate it.
Of course, that is the point. If you
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, if you do it fast enough, like it gets a little confused. I replicated it, but only for a split second because I thought I had missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, what's his next point?
want to make a horror movie so bad that audiences can laugh at above anything else, then Malignant is a fantastic example how. But if, on the other hand, you want to make a horror movie that audiences can take more seriously and actually fear, then Malignant and everything we've talked about it here today is still a fantastic example. Only in how not to.
Alright.
Yeah, the mind prison at the end of the movie also.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Also, right
It's
after
lifted straight from fucking Naruto as well.
I was gonna say it's lifted out of like I was about to reference Arkham Knight because that's where Batman puts Joker at the end of the game.
In mind prison?
Yes.
No, yeah. Did you play Arkham Knight?
No.
You know the ending of Arkham City. Spoiler alerts, I guess. Joker dies.
Okay.
But there's this weird Joker toxin that was in the first game, and because Batman was infected in the second game, that gives him visions of the Joker. Sorry, it's really dumb.
Hold on, so I could do
Let's
this.
just stick to
I have
Naruto.
a very recent playthrough because of the poison. Joker sent his blood all across Gotham. Only 5 people were infected, and one of them being Batman, even though he cured himself. And
no, because he gets injected with something else in the second game.
No, it's just it is Joker's blood.
No, he gets infected with something else in the second game. Remember, he jumps on his back and shit like that. And no, he
that
knocks him out and then...
that was him using his Joker gas to knock him out. But then when he's tied to the wheelchair,
because the thing is, you have to find Mr. Freeze to fucking get a cure. Remember?
Because both of you are dying from Joker's blood.
That he infects you with in the second game.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you, but it's not through the gas thing. It's while you're tied to the wheelchair that you see an IV. Now you see that there's some of me and you too, Bats.
Yeah, it's stupid. But he was also infected with Titan too.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically the Naruto thing. The Naruto thing, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about with the Naruto thing, though.
There's a giant spirit fucking monster.
But yeah, the
Naruto.
visual. It's almost visually identical to the demon
literally
inside Naruto.
almost exactly the same thing. It's kind of crazy. That's why I was kind of making jokes about it. It's like, oh yeah, he's gonna trap you with a shrine grate.
But as one last thing, since this is a horror video, I don't want to just end it without first talking about something that is actually scary. And what's scarier than getting so overwhelmed by different subscription payments?
Oh my god.
Do we want to...
It is pretty scary, not gonna lie. I kind of got hit by that this month.
Do we want to
What?
let the ad play through, or are we done?
No, we're not going to let this fucking ad play
No,
through.
we're not gonna let the ad play through.
They didn't pay us.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fair enough, I guess. So that was Malignant. I threw the cover back up.
It was shitty. You should watch it. It's kind of hilarious in how shitty
Yeah.
it is. It's like the same thing as like The Room. The Room is shitty, but yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
With my weird luck, I just tweet at James Wan. I'm like, was this a parody? And he answers back. He's just like, yes. It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah, and you get to be the one who makes the confirmation.
No,
Eat your heart out, E! News, or whatever the fuck.
You? I think that's like the meta thing.
No, I love it's like, who's gonna believe you? It's like, this is a public forum.
It's like screenshot. Oh fuck.
It's like, yeah, click. All right.
Here's a phone. Call someone who cares. 911. Give me that.
So after Malignant, we decided to cleanse our fucking palate from whatever the hell Malignant was. We'll decide to watch Brightburn.
Mm-hmm. Which, surprisingly, there's actually a couple of parallels to the fucking movies, now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a weird number of things that line up in little ways, because Brightburn does them all so much better.
So, would we like to do like a more of a comparison, or would we rather just talk more a bit breakdown-ish?
We can do both.
We can do comparisons if comparisons come up, but we'll probably just start off talking about the movie on its own. I think is a fairer way to do it. So, who wants to tackle the premise of this movie? Because it's actually quite a simple premise, now I think of it.
Yeah, from how I broke it down is Superman and a little bit of Goku, because it seems like when the ship crashed down and it has the message of like, take the world, it's like, oh, he was clearly sent here by the...
Stop.
Well,
Superman is Goku. Like, Goku
Yeah, I
is
think you're
literally a thing for...
overcomplicating your analogy.
Well, no, he does have a point, though, because the original thing with the Saiyans is to, like, conquer the planet.
No, what I'm
Yeah, but
saying
that
is
was
Goku
literally
is created because of
Superman.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, they already mirrored each other in that way.
Fair-
so yeah, it's just Superman but
enough.
evil is kind of the
Yeah,
thing.
if he was literally a sociopath.
It's like, if you think of the premise of Superman, how wrong that could potentially go if he wasn't good of heart, that's this movie.
Yeah,
And
because
it's-
even though his parents tried to raise him right, yeah, he's still insanely fucked up.
Yeah, like like I said, it's him being a sociopath, because even with his parents' love, he's still a fucking massive piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's not really on them. They did their fucking best. God damn it, they fucking did a great job.
They were doing their best right up to the very end. It's like when they realized that their kid's like
Well,
fucking evil and also superpowered, that dad was ready to do the right thing.
Yeah,
like
he
an
tried.
old
Yeah, I was
yellow
gonna say,
motherfucker in the back of the head.
he fucking it didn't work, unfortunately.
Spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers, yeah.
Spoilers also for Brightburn.
Spoilers for Brightburn. Brightburn's a fucking great movie. Definitely give it a look. The
Yeah,
dialogue in it was actually surprisingly well done. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, it all felt like real people talking to each other, which is something you don't really get in a lot of movies, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's... See, that's like a very subtle kind of good dialogue, because that's what makes dialogue so fucking hard to write, is making it sound like real people, when inherently the way you write dialogue isn't how real people talk. Because real people flub words. Real people will accidentally repeat things. Or they'll say something and then retroactively change a word in the sentence they just said. If you do any of that when you're writing dialogue, you're going to make somebody sound like they have brain damage. So making something that is well-written dialogue that still sounds like real people is so fucking difficult.
Yes.
This movie does it.
Yeah,
most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. There's a few scenes where the dialogue kind of fails a little bit.
Or slower being poopy pants and not fun. Slur brings up. I'm joking. Slur brings up really good points towards like certain parts of the dialogue.
Yes.
But yeah, for the most part, though, it's pretty solid.
Another solid thing is the gore. I'm rarely.
Oh man, that's really effective.
I'm rarely shocked by gore in movies, but the fucking the jaw is what got me, honestly.
The jaw is pretty fucked. The eyeball is. How did the eyeball not get you? You were actually screaming alongside with me.
Yeah, I like it. It's mainly because of man. It's hard to describe for me because it's just the eyeball was pretty bad.
You said you
yeah, I'm freaked out by both eyeballs and teeth. Really fuck with me. So they're both like teeth just like is a millimeter higher on the scale.
Yeah, sure.
As somebody who like it frequently has nightmares of my teeth just not even falling out, but essentially kind of just breaking in half. Like yeah, I'm just like ugh. So when the steering wheel slammed into his fucking jaw and like half his face just came off, it's like, oh, and he's trying to hold on to it too. Like that got me.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
Yeah, dialogue, gore, also just execution of a lot of what Filmento was covering this video was how you take something and you fucked up its scare factor. Whereas the very premise of Brightburn is taking something that's a cultural touchstone of like a good thing. It's like the arrival of Superman, and you're putting a dark twist on it. So you're trying to insert a fear factor into something that didn't have it originally. And the way they do that is they make the kid just a little bit off so that even when nothing's happened yet, you can tell that something about that boy ain't right. And then when things start happening, you see a lot of like trademark human psychopath things. And they're meant to be like red flags for us. So things like he gets told that a relative is dead and he's just looking at his parents like, I feel like you want me to cry. Because he doesn't have any instinctive intuition as to what the actual thing that people
like
normally do is.
Yeah, like what the natural reaction is.
Man, like I said, and then I just love the realization and the quick turns. Like he's fucking lying. It's like oh fuck.
Oh yeah. And yeah, just writing the parents in a way that they are actually fairly smart. They know what's going on. Watching any movie where the characters in that movie seem like they're actually paying attention is like a breath of fresh fucking air for me.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Definitely.
I actually really also, in terms of like the psychopath the kid was, he was actually shocked when his parents tried to kill him. Like he looked genuinely
because they were like his last fucking like holding, and that's the thing. Like the only thing that would keep him from going completely fucking crazy, and yep, that was it.
Also,
it's like that, and it's that dread. It's like you don't know what this fucking little bastard's gonna do. Like that's like the main thing.
Yeah, and that's the horror of it, and that's what it's using really well. It's how scary would like the premise of Superman be if you know how fucking strong he is, how nigh invincible he is.
He's virtually unstoppable. Like
yeah, and you just slowly discover layer by layer that he's a fucking psychopath. It's like we're fucked, and that's the really nifty part of Brightburn is you're given like these parent characters who are written really well. You care about them, you're rooting for them, but you catch on very quickly that they are in an unwinnable situation, and you're just watching the situation play out. And this is like the perfect movie not to subvert or not to, pull something out your arse at the last minute. You just put them in the unwinnable situation, and that's it. You're done. Everything else is watching the house of cards come down. You just watch this situation play out. It's horrifying enough as it is. We don't need like Galactus or he's secretly being puppeteered by an alien megamind behind the scenes. Like, we didn't need any of that. We needed nothing that expanded the scope, because expanding the scope would take it away from the actual hook, which is watching these people deal with this situation and how horrifying it is.
Yeah, there is a bit of that, the little bit alien overlord kind of thing, but like
Only through him.
Yeah, but it's through him. Like, there's nothing else.
Yeah,
to it.
only
Like,
through him
he
and
is
his
the thing.
drawings.
And there is the
we just get the impression that that's just something he was pre-programmed with.
Mhm.
As he was like getting that connection back with the pod he arrived in, and just like he's gradually translating the message that says "take the world," and he has that symbol that looks like the brand of the sacrifice, but not quite.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
was going
kind of
to say,
obsessed with it.
I was going to say, as he was writing those down, I immediately looked like it's just the brand, but it got completed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense of what it was too. It's literally his name.
Right. It's
Brendan,
It's BB.
Brendan Breyer.
Breyer.
Yeah, Brendan Breyer.
It's also Brightburn. BB.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Which
Brightburn,
Kansas.
Did they actually say that's where the location was? Brightburn, Kansas. Did I
Yeah,
miss that?
that's what they said towards the very end.
Say
Brightburn,
multiple
Kansas.
times.
Yeah, but like towards the end. But I don't remember him saying it before that.
It's on the cop car.
It's also on the school uniforms.
Oh, okay. Yes, I saw it on the cop car. I was like, oh, it's the name of the fucking place. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and initially I also thought it was just the name of his school, but then I was like, oh no, it's
It's
X
literally
county.
Smallville.
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
Evil Smallville.
Evil
and I
Smallville.
didn't know that was the premise of the movie when I was watching it.
Really?
And yeah, I had no idea what this movie was about at all. So I
wow.
was piecing together what this even was as I was watching. And that actually made it so much better. Because as soon as like he does the thing where he fucking yeets that lawnmower, I was like, huh, that's literally the scene from Invincible. And then it's like, oh no, I thought they were just joking. He actually is discovering superpowers. Where's this going? Oh no.
God damn, dude!
Oh,
I really wish I could have gone this fucking like empty, because I really wanted to, like, I would have loved to get that subversion, because I knew about this like way before, because like the obvious comparisons, like, oh, it's compared to like Injustice and blah 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 blah.
Well, initially I thought it was going to be going for like a sort of an Antichrist sort of angle because of the red glowy shit in the basement.
Ah.
And the fact that it was red and glowing was kind of throwing me off. It's like, okay, that looks a little bit cheap. But no, it's like, no, it's actually a mechanical device itself in the context of the movie that is glowing. It's like, okay.
And I do like how it does set up things like the ship is one of the only things that can hurt him. But that just because it's set up and it tries to pay off, because when the mom tries to use it to shank him, she is unsuccessful. And that was the
fucking superhuman.
Yeah,
that's
she was
like,
the
kryptonite works because it's radiation, like it's a slow burn almost. But this is like applied that you can only cut him with this.
Yes,
and it doesn't make him weaker unless he gets hit.
Not to mention, she was the only person who, by the time of his rampage, she was the only one who knew. So now no one knows his fucking weakness.
Yeah, so I'm saying now he's literally invincible. Like, it's crazy. Like, this, like, and I'm really curious if they do too, but I'm kind of scared. Like what Slayer's saying is like they're totally gonna fuck it up. It's like,
Yeah, no, I would more than happily just leave this as a nice, cool, weird standalone movie that's entirely self-contained. Don't franchise everything just because it's good. Some things are better off just being good in their own.
I know, but like, because there's not much good.
I was going to say I kind of want Evil Wonder Woman movie, because that actually sounds really interesting.
And there's a really cool like stinger for the end of this movie. It's like, oh, there's like basically an evil Justice League.
Which, didn't they make a Justice League? It was
it's
Gods and Monsters.
It's Gods and Monsters. There's another one called there's a couple different ones where basically everything's like inverted.
Yeah,
like the Joker and Lex Luthor are good guys.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. We're talking spoilers, but we're kind of just all bouncing all over the place.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just the
thing
of the work. Because, like I said, the movie itself is just fucking well done. And I mentioned it before, cops being used effectively, like the sheriff putting everything together and like figuring stuff out, but then like instantly getting gibbed the second the kid doesn't give a shit.
Oh yeah, and then also in terms of smarter things, the deputy tries to call for backup. It just doesn't fucking work.
It just doesn't work. Man, she got it fucking rough. Like, you saw what was going on.
He toyed with his food.
He didn't toy with her. He was just keep bouncing her back and forth on the fucking ground and the roof. That's like,
and then into that fucking window.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fucking sheriff just became paste.
Yeah, he just fucking gives him. It's fucking wild. Yeah, like I said, like the whole thing with like the little girl and like him, like he's like, "Oh, you're special," and he's like, "Oh, I know I'm special because I'm fucking genetically superior to everyone here." That makes sense. It's so weird.
I mean,
how,
he's
like,
not wrong.
It's so weird how like it all fucking like comes together with that too.
Yeah,
because it's
just that boy ain't right.
The boy ain't right.
I like how the dad is just like, no, both of the parents at one point after the uncle died is like, he's fucking lying to us.
Fucking lying. Like, they said it's actually a piece of dialogue.
Oh, one of the most realistic parts of the movie, because parents fucking know. They just know when their kid is lying to them.
Mm-hmm. And like, I do like the fucking thing where the mom like is trying to like is trying to like what's the word? Make excuses for her son, but there is a fucking point of breaking where I thought she was gonna be like, I thought that's the thing. It's like I had no idea where the fuck this movie was gonna go. I thought she was legit gonna be like the only human he kept alive, but because she like cared about him as her son. But no, she actually winds up trying to kill him too.
Yeah, because she knows what's right and what's wrong, and that boy is wrong.
Yeah.
That boy ain't right.
Nope.
Like I said, I thought she was gonna go crazy and like keep defending him, but it's like, oh no, she's okay, base.
Yeah, like it shows that like even she has her limits as to how far she'll go for that shit, and it kind of shows that even she, when confronted with the horror of what her son is, she's got nothing. She can't defend this. Pretty well done, actually. I'm trying to think. Other than that criticism I had of the dialogue with the aunt, where she just doesn't ask follow-up questions to the ominous shit he says,
as like a guidance
if I have any
counselor.
major criticisms about the movie at all.
Yeah, like as a
Because
guidance
most
counselor.
of it's a straightforward story that's pretty competently told.
Does a lot of really good shit with tension. Like, fuck. Like, every fucking moment. Like, where this little fucker's not on screen. It's like, what the fuck is he doing?
Wouldn't we have gotten rid of that nightmare sequence? Didn't we kind of say, like...
Yeah, that's right.
nightmare...
Dad has a nightmare sequence that I think is... It doesn't add anything, and you're better off without it, because you get a weird, goofy, flumpy visual out of it that doesn't add anything.
I'm curious, actually.
I would have removed all the musical stings, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would have removed some of them. I don't know if I'd get rid of all.
Well, because like there are ones where it's like, dude, he's like right there, and it's like the boom, and it's like, god damn it.
Yeah,
it's like
some of those you can easily get rid of, but
yeah,
like I said, I don't know if I could universally just apply that to all of them. I think there are plenty, and this is the thing: it's the ones you don't notice that are fine. It's when you really notice it that's a problem.
Like the part where like he like appears in the thing to like with the guidance counselor, like he like man, like that shit was so fucking creepy, and I feel like it'd been way better if we just didn't hear him. Like there's a lot of really great shots of just like him like in the dark, but all you could see is like his eyes and shit, and then like he disappears because he has fucking super speed.
Yeah,
that's another thing. It's like, yeah, like the quote unquote monster of this movie, it's very well established what he can do, and it's never inconsistent. He is always invincible. He is always able to fly. He's always able to just wreck shit, and there's nothing that anybody can do to stop him.
Yeah, and
there's no power struggle with anybody. The only thing we get is like he gets affected by a bullet that he didn't see coming, but like he gets like pushed by it. Like it's almost like a light shove.
Yeah,
he's more emotionally hurt by it than physically.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have any obstacles like physically, but he is gradually learning himself what he is and is not willing to do.
Yeah.
And it turns out he doesn't have many lines at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's just a fucking psychopath.
Well, I mean, when the lines get crossed, like there's a fucking good chance he might not have hurt his fucking his parents. Like, I honestly could buy that he doesn't really fuck with his parents.
Oh yeah,
but the
no.
thing is,
If
his
the
parents
mom had
literally, the parents literally move against him, and
Yeah,
that's
if
the thing. No, I'm not saying that's wrong, because you kind of have to. But
yeah,
to him, he's like, "Why are you guys against me? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Now I have to."
yeah, if the mom hadn't tried to stab him in the back, I bet he would not have even at
the end of the movie, he throws his quote unquote tantrum, like with the house, but like in the barn, he's actually chill, and like that whole scene was really fucked up. Like the way the lights were flashing, every fucking moment, I was like, he's gonna be right behind her. He's gonna be right behind her.
Yeah, I was doing.
It's never there. It's like, dude, it's fucking great. Like, fuck. Oh man.
Would you guys
Sorry,
agree?
This movie's awesome.
Would you agree with this meta score? Like, apparently 44. So it's like, so it's barely so rounded down. It's a 4 out of 10. It's just like, what the hell?
Okay, but with aggregate sites, you
know,
literally don't know what that number actually means. So
correct.
I don't know. Do I agree with it or disagree with it? I honestly have no fucking idea because I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean,
I thought Metascore is critics, isn't it?
Well, hang on, no, but the thing is, it's saying it's a less than average movie. Would you say that?
Absolutely fucking not.
No,
Okay,
this is
but
above
fuck
an
the score.
average.
That's the thing. This movie's great.
I'm curious
I know
how
you
they
disagreed with when I said that was great, but like,
What did I make it sound like? I didn't mean to.
No. Slur when I said this movie was great, and it was during the I think it was during the first. It was during the restaurant scene. You said what you said. He was like, I wouldn't call it great, and I was like, yeah, that's fair because it's still early in the movie.
Yeah, it's like at that point, if it's still early in the movie, it's like I'm not giving it accolades yet. I'm gonna see how this turns out.
That's fair. But like up until that point, it got me.
I loved the uncle's response. He just sees the kid in front of him. Nope. Nope.
Oh god,
No,
yeah.
no.
His reaction to everything else was like the most realistic thing in the fucking movie. He of everyone, he acts like the most like a normal actual person.
That was inserted into a horror movie. Nope. Getting the fuck out of here.
Nope, not doing that. Fuck this.
With Brightburn, there's not even the pretense of idealism. It's a superhero movie with the soul of an 80s slasher film. 25.
What? Because it's not a superhero movie, you fucking melon.
Yeah, it's literally a horror movie.
Sorry, I decided
you
to
go into Romeo and Juliet. It's like, wow, this is a really shit love story. When the opening fucking sentence of Romeo and Juliet is how it's a tragedy. It's like, bro, were you not paying attention? It's like you go into Freddy versus Jason. It's like, wow, this uplifting movie about a disabled black man is really strange.
The way.
Sorry. Oh no.
Brightburn is a generally humorless affair, with the only laughs given a sadistic edge, with paint by numbers.
It's a horror movie, right?
With paint by numbers, frights, and cut and paste big emotional moments that even the formidable banks cannot make pay off.
Formidable banks?
What the fuck is he talking about?
I don't even consider Elizabeth think that could have been an actress until this movie.
All I know is that she likes Krispy Kreme.
Like, I don't know. Like, is there any like good performances? I guess I never saw Seabiscuit.
I have not. Apparently, she gives a good performance in Pitch Perfect as the judge, one of the judges. But
I never saw Pitch Perfect. I'm not.
I've seen Pitch Perfect. I don't know that I'd recommend it.
I have seen the first half of the first Pitch Perfect like 20 times because my ex-wife was that kind of person of like, oh, we paused, we got to start all the way over.
Wow.
So it's
Well,
that's
properly
why
X, I guess.
that's where I was just like, oh fuck this, like I'm not watching the rest of after like this third restart, it was like just play from where we stopped. I know the movie.
You say like your ex was one of those people. That's not normal. Those people are not a thing. Your ex was just fucking weird.
Oh, that's not a group that just happens. Okay.
Nobody does that. Only very, very strange people.
Hold on. So
because most people have like short-term memory, so they remember what was happening when they paused.
Sorry, I just read the last one. The way the film shuffles, the film shuffles through its 90 minutes. It's as if it's been stripped of its most crucial narrative parts. What's missing from the movie?
I know. I saw that.
It's all fucking there. You get a fucking
yeah.
clear
That
through line.
person has no idea what the fuck they.
They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Also, who is this kid, by the way? Is he from Stranger Things?
No.
I didn't recognize him.
I don't like. He looks
also
familiar.
with the thumbnail that River made for this stream, it accidentally makes the main actress lady from Malignant look a little bit like an older Millie Bobby Brown.
No. Jackson A. Dunn.
I love how with this review it was done by Roger Moore. Bond wrote a fucking review of Brightburn.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. He was in Avengers Endgame. Is he the kid?
He's the kid, isn't he?
Is what I'm saying? Is he in Iron Man 3?
I don't think he's that kid, is he?
No. No. Sorry, he was Scott Lang.
Oh yeah,
he's Ant-Man. He's
when he's being like
past me or me or old me.
Yeah, is
he'll grow.
The 11-year-old version of Scott.
It's Scott.
A lot of like the Nerd Hulk stuff was really cringe. That one was pretty nice.
That one's
great.
That one.
Oh, hold on.
Time travel.
I was going to say I see this as an absolute win.
This is an absolute win. Yeah, I guess he's not really in a lot of things. Well, I mean, he's in a lot of things. Just a lot of things I haven't seen.
He'll
in
get
Glow. He's in Glow 2 as White Boy.
It's weird how like
I could be wrong. There could actually be a character named White Boy in the show. Oh, White Boy 2. Yeah, no. Henry Danger. Don't know that one. Killer Kids. Yeah, I guess this was like his big fucking thing, and he did a pretty good job playing a fucking psychopath.
It's a nasty piece of work, and one that at the very least stands as an active interruption of the escapist, family-friendly superhero fare currently dominating the industry.
Other guy didn't know that this was a horror movie. This motherfucker doesn't know what horror movies are.
Well, yeah, because they're all fucking caught up on it's a superhero story. It's like, well, first of all, it's not, because the kid's not a fucking hero. Second of all,
crossbreeding.
It really is like that absolute like sub 40 IQ take of, but he has superpowers. Why isn't he doing heroic things? Isn't that what happens?
That's what happens. That's what, I saw it. I saw it and I clapped.
Was this all the
you actively avoid having thoughts, don't you?
Was this all the old people that just went to go see Bright? These are the superhero movies they're in right now, right? We're still relevant as Rolling Stone journalists.
Yeah, no.
I come from Variety. I'm from the Rolling Stone.
I got tenure. I'm fucking goddamn sure gonna use it.
Crossbreeding superhero tropes with horror staples was an idea laden with promise. Brightburn is enlivened by trademark James Gunn black comedy, but hamstrung by sketchy writing and a botched
movie.
sense of dread.
That one of all of these actually got the closest to at least describing the movie they actually saw.
Yeah, but then it's a black comedy. It's like, is it?
Yeah, no, it is absolutely
a fucking horror movie. Like, what the fuck, man? This is not that hard to fucking grasp.
This person who wrote for Empire is just a fucking psychopath. They're like,
Also, James Gunn didn't do any of the writing on this. He was a producer.
Was it Sean Gunn who did this?
No, this
I
was,
actually don't.
no, the director is somebody that, at the very least, I haven't heard of.
Gotcha. Well, fucking good job, dude.
I like how this person for the New York Times, the gore and the scares work pretty well. 6 out of 10.
Okay, it annoys me that that's actually the best of all these reviews because it's the only one that says anything accurate.
Yeah.
It's like very poorly justified, but they are correct.
It's a film that's good enough that you want it to be better. A rare genre example of less not proving to be more.
Run that sentence by me again. It's good enough that I want it to be better.
It's a film that's good enough that you want it to be better. A rare genre. Hold on.
Everything would fall into that category.
Yeah, Slayer, you're forgetting the later half. A rare genre example of less not proving to be more.
But what does that mean?
Fucking literally saying nonsense.
That's not even a coherent sentence. A rare genre example of less not proving to be more. So it's going off the thing of normally less is more, but in this case, less was not more.
You're just like, what?
Less is fucking what? What does that mean?
Does this bring out a Skeletor? What?
Literally, yeah. It's like, cunt, less of what? You need to clarify further.
The movie rattles through 90 minutes of episodic jolts. The visual style is jumbled, distinctive only in having a better effects budget than your average Demons in the Attic quickie. While the super parody elements offer...
Visually, this was a lot more coherent than a B-movie.
Yeah.
In fact, we know because we were watching a B-movie right before it. We have a good point of comparison on that count.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
This was so much more visually coherent.
While the super
we understood the geography of the house, we understood like the geography of his room. He was hiding things, like people were interacting, like the kitchen, and every location had a sense of place in the lives of the characters. Whereas in Malignant, every room was kind of just a set for that scene. Very little in that movie felt lived in, ever.
While the super parody elements offer a few snorts of amusement, the movie avoids taking them...
Why do people keep pretending this is a comedy? What the fuck is happening? Am I crazy world? What happened?
The movie avoids taking on more complex ideas about Superman as an American ideal, though the filmmakers
because it was too focused on those obviously shallow themes of like parenthood and the limits of a mother's love and all of this other. It's like, okay, I'm gonna actually have to break down why that fucking just made my head crack.
Go for it.
Oh, did it crack? Just like, is now your Gabriel coming out?
Oh no! Oh no! He's unleashing the beast within.
But like, okay, one of the flaws is that it didn't go into the themes of Superman as an American ideal. But then it's like, if you just say that sentence on its own, A, you're assuming that that's what it was trying to do, or what it should have been trying to do, when neither of those are a given. And then you're also completely ignoring the things that it did fill in that place. So it's like, I just saw this war movie, and instead of like talking about the heroism and patriotism and all these things that I wanted a war movie to be about, it kept doing this like, the misery of the human condition and the inevitability of conflict bullshit. Like, who fucking cares about that, man? Yeah. So why weren't you talking about the themes I wanted you to talk about? So that review, it's telling you that a flaw with this movie is that it wasn't covering the themes he wanted it to cover, and he's told you absolutely nothing about how well it covered the themes it actually fucking covered. What an absolutely retarded way to review any media.
I like Rage Slur. It's a rare.
He doesn't come out.
That was fucking nice, dude. I like that.
Most of Brightburn belabors the obvious.
What obvious?
What the fuck?
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Okay,
What does it mean?
all of these people, their opinions on movies don't matter.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, we hear their points. These points are fucking awful. So yeah, I disagree with their fucking overall Metacritic score.
I'm curious what the positive ones sound like. Let's see. 83. This is the best one it's gotten. The film is a gem, especially for anyone yearning for a superhero film that gleefully torches the familiar good versus evil formula and introduces far more sinister sensibilities.
Okay, that's actually, yeah, it does do that.
But like,
it's like you take something like the premise of this movie being so similar to Superman is obviously not a coincidence. That's very much on purpose because they want you to be thinking about Superman.
Yeah.
Because we're giving you the dark reflection of what that could have been if the story went differently. So, yes, this very much is deliberately taking that good versus evil stock caricature of the Superman story, and it's giving you a dark twist on it. That's just what it is. And for that, it is good. So, yeah, it doesn't tell us a lot, but again, the bar of what I will give any of these reviews in whether they're good or not is so fucking low. You literally just need to not be an idiot.
Oh yeah,
just
like
at least describe a movie that lines up with the movie you actually saw.
Yeah, the only point I was trying to make by showing like the Metacritic stuff is I wanted to see like with the negatives, it's like, did we even see the same film?
Yeah, I don't think we did.
So this is just a clear example of just not paying attention to like Metacritic bullshit. Like,
yeah,
these people are fucking like tenured. They think they're the fucking like absolute end all when it comes to criticism, which is just fucking elitist bullshit. Enjoy
well, it's where you get this idea of like, well, I'm a professional film reviewer. It's like being a professional just means you do it for your job. Now, we've all had jobs. I want you to look at the people you've worked next to. All of the people that you wonder, how do they manage to get their trousers on by themselves? Just because you do something as your job is no guarantee that you're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no guarantee that you should be doing it as your job. Because a lot of people are bad at their jobs. So being a professional is not a mark of prestige. It's simply a description of where you get your rent money from.
Basically.
So yeah, I think anyone got anything else to say on Brightburn?
Brightburn's great. Go watch it.
Yeah, very highly recommend. We don't have as many things to pick apart with Brightburn as we do with Malignant, because we don't have individual scenes that are very funny to pull apart. Every scene in the movie just kind of rolls into the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So you get very few like snap breaks where it's like you can isolate a single thing. Now, we can go through like the kills and the gore, but we've kind of already touched on it.
Yeah, we've already touched on the gore. In these terms of like a kill, I really liked how it was done. In terms of how fast it was done, I really liked the waitress. The sudden plunge,
yeah,
basically.
like that was done really well to like really fuck with you. Because once again, it's one of those things where it's like you don't know what this little fucker's gonna do.
And then you find her later on, and she's like pulling out her organs just to see how humans fit together and shit. It's like,
Yeah, and it's like that's all set up because in the fucking earlier in the movie, like they found that fucking really weird shit. Where he's like totally.
Well, yeah, they do that throughout the movie where, like I said, they use classic red flags that we all know for psychopaths. It's like as a kid, they were killing small animals. We get that, but we get a superpowered version.
Mm-hmm.
We get the obsession with like dead bodies and like seeing gore, and we find it's like the shit under his bed, and all of it loops back in together as we see him develop into that psychopath much faster than anybody's prepared to deal with. Pretty nifty.
Yeah, it gets the YARP seal of approval as far as I'm concerned.
Definitely.
So that brings us to the end of our first Spooktober stream. We have quite big plans here. and we shall hope to see you again. Goodbye.
Do we want to announce ahead of time what we're doing next week, or are we just going to leave it as we're going to be doing?
Save it as a,
We're leaving it as is. Yeah.
It's all gonna be horror themed. That's for damn sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
As you can tell from all of our spooky avatars, especially Slurs.
Oh yeah, so spooky.
Slurs is like the most terrifying. Like my stitches are coming undone because of it. I'm so fucking scared.
Wow.
You should be.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.